Metcalf was able to hold that, but they...
This is the KNOX pregame show. Brought to you by True North Equipment. True to your values, driven by you.
What were your takeaways from that? Coach, nice game yesterday. Bunch of power play success. Overall, really good success against...
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks. This is the KNOX Postgame Show, brought...
All right, checking. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Coming at you live, East Grand Forks Civic Center Arena. Yeah, here we go. Start the bidding at $100. Okay. All right, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Ryan, how do you sound here? Let's get your microphone down.
I don't know. You tell me.
Turn that mic right
Oh,
there.
yep. Here we go. Wasn't
There you
ready. How's it sound now? Good?
That
Yep.
sounds pretty good, yeah.
All right.
We should do some play-by-play of the UND game. UND's up 10-0, by the way. That'd be in football.
We got the ball back somehow. I don't know if it's turnover downs or if it's another fumble, but
Maybe the officials just decided we should have the ball.
I wholeheartedly agree with that call. I feel like the officials owe us a few this year. Not to be salty ref guy, but that Montana State game still drives me nuts.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen that are waiting for the web stream, those are Ryan Kuntz's thoughts on college football officials. We have just under 9 minutes left to go in the third period. There will be no media timeouts today. Thought we'd let you know that. So keep that in mind, okay? And we will be back to you shortly. Metcalf was able to hold that, but they stayed with the puck back behind the net. Blue got it, took
Oh,
a chance
boy.
out in front to Zeal with a tap in that will score. Parks out of the shotgun, takes the snap, stepping, looking, back shoulder fade to Mackey, and he catches it for a Red River touchdown.
It's time for the best in local sports coverage with KNOX Live Sports and News Radio 1310 KNOX.
Puck goes free to the high slot, picked up Lovejoy, wrister, and he scores. Reardon working right side, defended the entire way. A stop by Dookie. She looks into J.C. Reardon, the high-low is there.
The following is a presentation of KNOX Live Sports, presented by Rivard's Turf and Forage and Grand Trailer Sales.
Off to the right, down to the doorstep. Hoganson, a backhander, he scores. What a play for Griffin Hoganson.
Let's go live to tonight's presentation.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you back, this time to East Grand Forks Civic Center Arena, and our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales, Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. We are getting ready for what has been a highly anticipated matchup ever since we started to get an idea of who was going to be a player or two in the Gambuchi Cup Series last night. We had Grand Forks Red River going up against East Grand Forks, and East Grand Forks got the victory in that matchup by a final score of 5-2. And today it'll be Grand Forks Central coming across the river to take on East Grand Forks this afternoon to play Game 2 of the Gambuchi Cup Series. And we welcome you today to our coverage of high school hockey here today. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz back with you for another day of fun and frivolity at the hockey rink today. This one should be a really good one. A lot of anticipation about what this Grand Forks Central team looks like coming into this one tonight. And so, Ryan, we're excited to see what Central looks like against a pretty good East Grand Forks team.
Yeah, I know we've talked about this for weeks now. I've been excited since tryouts, and again, when we started to figure out who's going to be on this Central team, what the lines are going to look like. It took shape, and you kind of look at this roster, and boy, oh boy, it's deep for Central.
Absolutely.
I mean, you look at this first line, and you're like, okay, how do you handle Zeal, Rivard, Kwame? And then you're like, okay, how do we get the second line? Mardo, Spicer, Walkenfuss. And hey, how about the third line? Troy Clausen had 30 points last year. And he's back again this year. He's a third line. So at least on paper for Central, this is a roster, this is a lineup that affords you no breaks. It is going to come at you, every single shift. There's no freebies for anyone they play.
Let's talk about East Grand Forks for a second. Yesterday they go into battle against Grand Forks Red River, and they had lost their first game of the year against Delano 5-1, and there's some conversation about, okay, is this a chance for East Grand Forks maybe coming back a little bit? We were very impressed with what East Grand Forks did yesterday. From about the 5-minute mark into the first period on, they really took things over, had a tremendous second period yesterday, and perhaps they're better than advertised after that first game with Delano.
Yeah, I think they did really well. I mean, 5-on-5, I think there were stretches in that game where both teams maybe pushed the pace a little bit, but when you have two good teams, that's how a hockey game ebbs and flows. What I really liked about East Grand Forks' game yesterday was, like we talked about, kind of little things. They 3 for 3 on the power play to start. Their first 3 power plays they scored on. They generated a ton of offense off face-offs. I mean, they did all of those extra things, whereas, as you and I know, and we've seen enough hockey games now where when you get in the regional tournament, the section tournament, that's what that comes down to. Games are won and lost on face-offs, on power plays, on special teams, and East Grand Forks executed great on those, and that's why they won the hockey game on top of getting a really great performance from Noah Shindley.
So we'll have two very good teams coming up here today as we continue along with our pregame report. And our pregame report today is brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. And also brought to you today by our friends at True North Equipment, true to your values and ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley. Well, let's once again, for those of you that are joining us for the first time, give you a look at Drive for the Title that we have for today. And again, we're talking about just preseason polls so far this year. Those of you that are with us on the radio side, you can catch our video coverage today by going to KNOXradio.com. Take a look underneath the sports tab, and you'll find a live sports link there, and that's where we'll be able to find a viewer for you to take in the coverage there. You can also find it on our YouTube channel today. Search KNOX TV on YouTube. Those of you on the video side, right now you can see the preseason polls that are in front of you, and there is Grand Forks Central on the very top of the stack. Grand Forks Red River was second in that poll. Ryan, we've talked about this a couple of times throughout the year already. There was a very big consensus that it was number 1, number 2, Central Red River. After that, the North Dakota side was kind of a pick-up, sort of stack-up that was going over there. On the Minnesota side, a lot of the familiar names, same names that you're familiar with the exception of Sartell St. Stephen stepping in to the number 5 spot. But Hibbing, Hermantown, War Road, East Grand Forks going 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's talk about that Minnesota poll before we take a break. You saw a number 4 ranked team get beat by a number 8 ranked team in Delano, but Delano beat War Road the night before in that situation. Then they come back with the win over Red River, and so now maybe they settle into that mid-range in that poll going forward to see kind of how that jostles about.
And we'll see, like we see almost every year in this single A poll with schedules being heavy double A, we'll see so much movement. We saw it last year, and we talked about this yesterday, but I mean, teams with 500 records in the middle of the poll, teams with, you know, they were heavy win-loss ratio, and they were down at number 7 or 8. I mean,
absolutely.
We're just going to see so much movement, but like we said, it always shakes out, and the best teams always find their way in, and you got to work so hard in Minnesota just to get through sections to get to the state tournament. By the time you get to state, I mean, you have usually the right teams there.
Absolutely. Now, on the North Dakota side of things, 4 will go out of the East, 4 will go out of the West. Right now, you don't see West Fargo in the top 10. Actually, you do rather. They're in the number 7 spot in that poll. You see Cheyenne up there as well. North, Davies sort of commanding those other 2 tops in the Eastern Dakota Conference. Out West, we know there was just a lot of gutting to the juniors, and so that's why the West region is going to be a little bit of a pick-em for now. Central Red River, they're the heavyweights once again on the eastern side of the state.
Heavyweights once again, but I think there's going to be a lot of movement in that one too. I think there's going to be a lot of up and down throughout the year. Cheyenne last night beat Roseau 4-3, so I talked about Cheyenne a week ago when we did the first Red River Roseau game. I think Cheyenne's a team who might kind of surprise some people throughout the year.
It'll be fun to see if that would happen and make it nice and competitive in the East region. That's a look at our drive for the title that we have for you as we continue here from East Grand Forks Civic Center Arena. We're going to take our first break on the pregame report. When we come back, we'll talk with both of our head coaches. Again, the coach of the East Grand Forks Green Wave, Tyler Palmasino, celebrating a win in the Gambuchi Cup Series yesterday as his team knocks off Grand Forks Red River. And we'll talk with Grant Paranika for the first time this year as well, as we have a chance to get a preview of Grand Forks Central Knights hockey. All that as we continue with our pregame report, brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel and True North Equipment, true to your values and ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley. Stay with us. We continue with more high school hockey next on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network at KNOX Live Sports and KNOX Radio.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens.
At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Nelson Auto in Grand Forks is proud to sponsor area athletics. We know the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto of Grand Forks, home to Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
This is the KNOX pregame show. Brought to you by True North Equipment. True to your values, driven by you. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports, and KNOX Radio this afternoon. It's another Gambuchi Cup Series matchup between Grand Forks Central and East Grand Forks today, with East Grand Forks coming into the Gambuchi Cup Series game today with the points lead after picking up 3 points for their win yesterday over Grand Forks Red River by a score of 5-2, and now it's time to move on and take on the next matchup here in the Gambuchi Cup Series. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz with you here today for game day. Glad to have you along with us. Joey Springer has our videography work here today at Civic Center Arena. You can see behind us, Ryan, there's a lot of people coming in. We're going to have a pretty good crowd here for a Saturday afternoon hockey game today.
Yeah, Saturday afternoon hockey. You got the Uni game tonight. You got football going on right now, which I'm kind of watching. But just a good day of sports. So if you're not here and you can get here, because this one's going to be a doozy.
That's going to be a very, very good matchup that we have for you here today. We're going to talk with our head coaches as we get things started today in our pregame report, which is brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel and True North Equipment. And we're going to talk first of all with Grant Paranika, the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights. And one of the things that you'll hear here, Ryan, is he mentioned right away, all of our guys didn't seem out of place in game one. Well, there's a reason for that. They're all back. I mean, it seems like they stepped right into their positions, and that's one of the advantages that you get early in the season.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of losses for Central. I mean, there's a couple big ones, Mac Blue, Ryder Burris, some names that we said a lot last year that contributed, but other than that, I mean, it's a pretty familiar roster. They're adding guys like Nolan Mardo. On the D-core, there's a lot of turnover, but they're adding 3 really skilled sophomores. So there wasn't a lot of turnover from last year. This group looks very, very similar with some plug-and-play additions.
Yeah, they might be playing a lot of downhill hockey that we have for you today. And so with that, we'll take you to our coaches' conversations that we have here for you today. And again, Grant Paranika, the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights, joining us for our pregame report today. That's how we'll start things off today as we bring you our coverage of Grand Forks Central Knights versus East Grand Forks hockey. Our coaches' conversations first with Grant Paranika.
What were your takeaways from that first game?
Yeah, no, for our first game, I thought we played well, like through the whole lineup. One thing that I did notice about our squad is no one looked out of place. Like everybody contributed, not necessarily on the score sheet, but in a good way. They contributed in a positive way, and that was encouraging to see. Our depth all the way through our lineup. A few young guys in the lineup, first high school game, and they contributed and looked like they belonged, and like they had been a seasoned veteran. So, yeah.
Well, that's a good start when you got seasoned veterans getting started, Coach. I mean, we knew that you were going to have some competition in your room this year for playing time, and that sorted itself out. But take us through that process. How did that competition sort out? Were you happy with the process?
Yeah, of course, and it's always ongoing process, right? Like kids are constantly competing for for a position on the team, and that'll go on all year long and until maybe postseason. But the process was, again, it's ongoing, so it hasn't finished, and we'll continue that way. And I think it's healthy. It's good for all the kids, all the players to compete daily, and it elevates the play of all of our players. So we're going to continue with that.
Coach, I know that coming back, there were a couple of spots on the blue line that you were looking for some guys to step up and fill. Tell us how that went, and do you feel like those guys are solid for you back there right now?
Yeah, for sure. They are solid for us through that first game. I mean, it's still pretty early, right? And everybody's excited to play in that first game, and, we'll see how that continues as we go through the season. But, basically it sorted itself out in competing for that spot, and those kids won it, and that's where they're at right now. They could lose that spot at any time, and that's kind of the thing we talk about in our locker room, and that you have to come to compete daily, and it doesn't happen with any sort of fanfare or anything like that. You just find yourself on the outs. So I think the kids know that, and they like that. Like I said, it's healthy for them, and they know when they've got to the spot and they've earned a varsity spot that they actually did something to earn it, and they take ownership of it.
East Grand Forks today, we saw them yesterday against Grand Forks Red River. They had tremendous success on the power play. That's something that I'm sure jumps off the page. You have the personnel to compete with a lot of teams, but if you're in the box, you lose one of them. That must be message number one to the guys today.
Yeah, for sure that, and I think on the draw, East Grand Forks looked really strong there. They did great not only on the dot, but just winning that whole face-off completely. They had help from their wingers jumping in, and they did a really nice job there. Their power play, of course, as well too. That's certainly something that jumped out from watching the Red River Eastside game last night. So hopefully we can address that and have some success against it.
The head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights, Grant Paranika, joining us for our pregame report. And what was remarkable there, he just plainly admitted it's competition for playing time every single day in the Grand Forks Central camp right now because of the personnel that they have at this point.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we watched the JV game, right? And I'm watching a lot of guys out in that JV game for Central. They look like varsity players to me. So it is. That's one of the hard things about varsity hockey is yeah, you can make the team on day one, but you got to stay there for 4 or 5 months, and at any given time, you can find yourself, like he said, on the outs looking in, and there's a lot of hungry kids right below you waiting to take your spot.
Well, let's take a look while we have the opportunity, and we're talking about personnel that are out there with our tools of the game that we have today. Our game tools brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Logan Karski, your brand new agent in Grand Forks with State Farm Insurance. He's ready to put together a game plan for you to protect what's important to you. Home, auto, life, health, farm, business. He has you covered at State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Logan Karski, your brand new agent in Grand Forks. Now, we take a look at the bottom of the screen for those of you on the video side. Cooper DeZiel, Shea Kwame, Ryder Rivard. The reason, those are the men that got into the scoring summary with 3 assists for Cooper DeZiel. Came back to the team this year, and I'll tell you what, he was making plays. Didn't have a goal, but had 3 assists in that matchup against the Detroit Lakes to get things started. And the real story there are the guys that we didn't get on the screen, like a newcomer in Nolan Marto, like a guy in the third line like Trey Clausen. But those are the men that jumped out and did some scoring for Grand Forks Central in their first game out.
Yeah, I mean, you just look at that line, and I mean, that's a complete line, and you kind of look at the roles they each play. You got Ryder Rivard, who I think is going to have a massive year production-wise, and he's kind of the finisher on that line. You have Cooper DeZiel, who had like 3 assists, like you mentioned. He's kind of their setup guy. And then you got Shea Kwame, who found his way on the score sheet, but he's kind of your fire starter, right? He's the grinder. He's the guy who's going to clear some space through everybody with the way that he plays, and that's a tough line to handle right there.
Absolutely. Now for East Grand Forks, we saw these guys yesterday. Tucker Lovejoy had a very good game yesterday, looking for some time and space. Jace Panzer took over the second period, and Cole Schmiederberg back on the blue line along with Max Beast. Their blue line had 5 points for East Grand Forks yesterday. We've got them dialed in, but they're starting to develop some additional playmakers on this Green Wave hockey team.
Yeah, I love the combined effort offensively from the East Grand Forks decor yesterday. Like you mentioned, that was great. And Jace Panzer, I mean, he had a goal, was on the power play, but just the way he ran that power play, the impact he made in the game, and sort of some things that don't always make the score sheet. I thought he was phenomenal yesterday, and we know Lovejoy is going to be a factor in every single game. So
absolutely.
Some big names for East Side as well.
Those are the tools. They're brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. A break in our pregame report presented by Signature Graphics and Apparel and True North Equipment. And Tyler Palmasino, the head coach of the Green Wave, joins us next along with the keys for the game that we have for you today. This is high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. We're back with more next.
Hey, this is Pastor Paul. I'd like to welcome you to Hope Church, especially if you're a person that doesn't have a place where you hang out spiritually. We would love for you to come and experience hope and find God. Hope Church, 9, 10:30, and 6 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can check out gfhope.org.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for 2.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on Pick 6, my mouth going yap, yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap, flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap. Pick 6 meal for 2 for $19.99.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy,
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
This is the KNOX pregame show. Brought to you by True North Equipment. True to your values, driven by you. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. Today we come to you from East Grand Forks Civic Center Arena, where we get set for our coverage of another Gambuchi Cup Series matchup. It'll feature the East Grand Forks Green Wave going up against the Grand Forks Central Knights this afternoon in Game 2 of the Gambuchi Cup Series. We welcome you back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz with you here this afternoon. We get ready for Tyler Palmasino to join us in the pregame report. And Ryan, I have to think he's probably pretty happy coach with the performance that his team had yesterday afternoon against Grand Forks Red River.
Yeah, it's a good comeback win. Obviously the Delano game a week ago didn't go well, but the comeback yesterday, a pretty complete game in all different aspects of it. So, I mean, granted, they got to play a second game in 2 days against a fresh Central team.
Yes.
But at the same time, they're taking a lot of momentum from yesterday, fresh memories, fresh lessons into this game today.
Absolutely. So let's get ready to get the word of Tyler Palmasino, the head coach of the East Grand Forks Green Wave, joining us here today for our coverage of high school hockey as we move forward with our coverage here today between the Grand Forks Central Knights and the East Grand Forks Green Wave. Tyler Palmasino, the head coach of the Green Wave, joining us for our pregame conversation. Coach, nice game yesterday. Bunch of power play success. Overall, really good success against Grand Forks Red River in a 5-2 win. Coach, nice game yesterday. Bunch of power play success. Overall, really good success against Grand Forks Red River in a 5-2 win. Some of your takeaways from that one yesterday afternoon?
Yeah, I thought it was a good second effort, or second game by us coming off the Delano loss. I like our response. Kind of interesting game. I didn't think it was a 5-1 final. It felt more like a one-goal game. We capitalized on the power plays, and our penalty kill was really good.
Today you take on a Grand Forks Central team that's got a little bit of hype around it. We'll talk more about that in a second. Your team yesterday, second period, really about 5-6 minutes into the first period, really began to have some success dictating some tempo in the way the game was going to be played. That had to have been good from the bench.
Yeah, I thought we did a really good job getting to our game there after the first 5-6 minutes. Once we were able to establish some possession, dots and down, I thought we did a good job of protecting, possessing, and making plays where needed.
A lot of balance, too, particularly your defensive core. You had a lot of points from the blue line yesterday, and based on the people that you have back there, that's probably something you're going to want to replicate every night out.
Yeah, no doubt. We're going to need to find goals wherever we can get them, I think, this year, and it's slowly happening. I'd like to see us produce and create a little more 5-on-5 this afternoon.
Today you take on a Central team that's got three really good forward lines. That's going to be probably a place where you get started. I know you mentioned yesterday that you're not really concentrating on anybody but yourself right now. So from that perspective, when someone comes at you with depth, how do you think that might test you?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you just got to play. We can't play less guys. We played yesterday afternoon, and we're just going to play what we got, and they're going to have to rise to the occasion.
Noah Schindele had a great game yesterday. That would have been good to see against a team like this today.
Yeah, I thought he was very calming back there, especially early in that hockey game when, the first 5-6 minutes I thought Red River had a good push, and Noah kind of calmed and weathered the storm, and then after that we kind of took over.
And then how about a player, coach, or two, somebody you'd like to see take a step today, maybe someone's waiting to break out of a shell?
Yeah, I just think in general, like all our guys we need to slowly take steps and get better, and so all 15 of them got to get a little better today.
Gambuchi Cup matchup. Ryan, let's talk about how East Grand Forks that interview was. Everybody's got to get better. There isn't anybody that needs to do it individually. Everybody needs to get better, and it doesn't matter that Grand Forks Central has depth and you played yesterday. You just have to rise to the challenge. I mean, and they're used to answering that challenge from Tyler Palmasino.
Yeah, they didn't set the schedule up just right? I mean, this was intentional, right? And I love it. I mean, you test yourselves early. Like we even talked about yesterday with East Grand Forks, I mean, this is a process. They seem to do this kind of every year where, they put themselves in spots early where there's a little bit of adversity. Guys need to rise to the occasion. Guys need to fill some roles, and that's what they're doing this year. And I think he nailed it. Everyone's going to have to be better today than they were yesterday.
That's just the process for East Grand Forks. Pre-game report continues, and it's brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel and also True North Equipment. And our coaches' conversations today with Tyler Palmasino and Grant Paranica, brought to you today by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools, your Kubota dealers with a full line of Kubota products to help you do your very best work. You'll find them across from Simplot on Gateway and Grand Forks. Skid steer loaders, scissor lifts, great snow movers that they have for you. And you can find any tool that you're looking for in their tool shop, which is just a couple of blocks south of Gateway in North Washington, and a service department that's ready to go to work for you at Acme Equipment and Acme Tools. They bring you our coaches' conversations each and every night out. Well, it's time to take a break. When we come back, take a look at the keys for the matchup and get ready for what should be a fun one tonight here at Civic Center Arena. It's Game 2 of the Gambuchi Cup Series. East Grand Forks Central next on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop proudly supports our local high school athletes on the field, the court, and beyond. Just like sports, adventure starts with the right gear. The Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great-tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Valley Truck in East Grand Forks is proud to support our local high school athletes. With over 400 years of combined experience, they keep our community moving on and off the field. Trusted repairs, quality parts, and support for the next generation.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports, as the starting lineup is being introduced here this afternoon. It's Grand Forks Central and East Grand Forks. Let's take a look at our starting lineups for today's matchup. For Grand Forks Central, the visitors, the starting goaltender is Weston Nielsen. Starting defenseman, Bodie Burris on the left point, Logan Nelson on the right point. That starting first line. Cooper DeZiel brings them out with Ryder Burris on his left wing and Shea Kwame on his right wing for Grant Paranika, the head coach of the Knights. For East Grand Forks today, starting goaltender Noah Schindele had a great game yesterday against Grand Forks Red River. Starting defensive pair, Max Beast on the left point, Ryan Clausen on the right point. Jace Panzer will bring him out this afternoon as the forward line in the middle with Tucker Lovejoy in his left wing and Jake Chupka on his right wing. And that's the starting lineup for Tyler Palmasino, the head coach of the East Grand Forks Green Wave. We have a look at our face-off and our keys for the game coming up next on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Wilrich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
We very much take a lot of pride in our work. Customer service has always been our number one.
We have the best materials. You're going to have the best people in the area to do the job.
If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Or head to gworkslf.com to get started.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new. Big or small, Finest Auto Trim can cover it all. To get a quote, go to finestautotrim.com.
It's game day, and whether you're feeding the family or the entire team, Hugo's is the place to go. Score big with favorites from the meat department, delicious fresh veggies, and don't forget about the bakery to celebrate the big win. Hugo's Family Marketplace, your game day headquarters.
Thief River Glass handles it all. Aluminum storefronts, auto glass, windows, shower enclosures, and more. Just like our athletes, we're built for every season. No job is too big or too small. Call 218-681-1333 for year-round dependable service.
When you're looking for a change of pace, a change of routine, or a change of scenery, we'll help you find what's next. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For you, for life.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
For expert sales and service, visit Acme Equipment or online at acmekubota.com.
National Anthem concludes here today at East Grand Forks Civic Center Arena. We're set for high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. Let's take a look at our keys for the game, brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World, with every pad, every skate, every tool of the game that you're looking for, and terrific service to take care of your hockey player. First of all, the keys to the game are the Grand Forks Central Knights this afternoon. Who sets the tempo to get this one started today? East Grand Forks had to take it to them for about 5 minutes yesterday. Then they established the tempo. They're not fresh. Central is, and Central avoid penalties. East Grand Forks' power play is lethal, Ryan Kuntz.
Yeah, talking about setting the tempo, I mean, Central's had, 7 or 8 day breaks since they've played, and that's a long time to get a taste of a game and then have to wait for game 2. So you have to think Central's coming out ready to go here.
And as far as East Grand Forks and the keys to the game today for the Green Wave, take advantage of that power play, and Central in transition with the players that they have up front. They've got 3 lines, and all of them can get up the ice really, really quickly. You have to be aware of that transition play today if you're Grand Forks Central.
They do, and they have a decor who can put together those quick passes for Central. So you're right, the transition game, as it always is, will be huge.
East Grand Forks in white today. East Grand Forks in white today with Grand Forks Central in maroon. And here we go. It'll be Jace Panzer and Cooper DeZiel for the draw. And Central will take control of it back in their own end as Logan Nielsen's behind his net, taking a look for a breakout. He's being chased by Chupka back behind his own net as well and struggling to come up with some space to work with. The forecheck of East Grand Forks pretty good in the opening seconds here. Bodie Burris coming back to the neutral zone. Great pass to DeZiel. DeZiel trying to drag to the high slot, but Ryan Clausen fought the puck away. This will go loose back in the neutral zone as Lovejoy takes a wave at it, and this will deflect back into the Central end. East Grand Forks will go off on a change rather quickly. Burris is back for Central taking a lead. He turned it over. Nolan Mellebrook's in by himself. He backhands off the bar, and the rebound is swept up against the net by Gelman, who came up with the opening goal yesterday for East Grand Forks. Mellebrook again from the high slot. That got blocked on the way through, and man, a very big mistake for Grand Forks Central in the early going that nearly cost them.
Yeah, I mean, Bodie Burris starts that shift off with a great up-ice pass and then kind of fans on that second one. And a great chance for Central. Does not go in. Or for East Side, sorry.
Yeah, East Side had a golden opportunity there, and now we'll see Logan Nielsen playing the puck back out towards the near edge. Those of you looking at the scoreboard trying to get that fixed up for you, I think we have it now. And Grand Forks Central back in their own end with the puck after dodging an early bullet here in the opening period. Breakout pass to the right side. Rylan Spicer up into the neutral zone, widening out to the right wall. He comes charging in, tried to make a drop pass, and a blast that goes wide of the net by Nolan Marteau. Starting on that second line as the center here today. He was the first line of the first time around, and they could rotate that position basically all season long. Cy Chelman up into the neutral zone for East Grand Forks. Sean Lind carrying over towards the right. By the way, East Grand Forks does not have the services of Weston Bratrud today. Injured yesterday, so he cannot play on the fourth line today for the Green Wave as a personnel matter to attend to. Puck sent back up ice by Carson Cutterba. We'll see Cutterba on a defensive role throughout the course of the day today. Had a great season with Grand Forks Central's running back. And the puck put back through the neutral zone by Kaysen Panzer. They're already out to their third pair of defenders. Loose puck back to Braden Overgaard for East Grand Forks. Overgaard as far as the dotted line, sends it back into the central end. We're scoreless, a little better than 2 minutes into the game. Jace Panzer turns it back to the left point. Clausen through traffic, tipped by Chupka. Up off the back wall. He'll put it back to Lovejoy, trailing in behind the net. And a wrestling match in the corner with Cutterba leading the charge, trying to come up with a free puck. It'll dance up the left wall, and still a 2-on-2 or 2-on-3 battle for control. That's won by Brady Kirkaby for Grand Forks Central, and Kirkaby will dump down to the far end. Clausen back to get it in the left corner of East Grand Forks' zone. It'll turn up to Lovejoy on the left side for Cole Schmiederberg. Schmiederberg ends up leaving the puck behind him, and it's picked up off the right by Trey Clausen. He whistles one in on Schindele. Schindele tried to make a glove save, got his glove on it, then it popped out in front. But Chupka's there to sweep up the rebound, and Lovejoy will play this deep into the central end. 3 minutes of continuous hockey to get things started. Long stretch pass coming up. Ryder Rivard, he'll take a chance. Look to the right side. He had DeZiel crashing, and the pass just couldn't be handled. Kwame fought to keep it up in the offensive end. It goes loose along the East Grand Forks line, and Rivard will send it back into the corner. Taken back out by Gelman for East Grand Forks. Gelman has it deflected back into the far corner. Bodie Schmaltz is there, but retrieved once again by Rivard with a hard shift off the wall. He'll turn it back into the corner. Turned by Kwame. Back off to Rivard. A short-sided chance on Schindele, and the official lost sight of the puck, and that will bring us to an opportunity to breathe with 3:28 gone in the opening period.
You know, I think of all the guys on this Central team I was most excited to watch for this game, it might have been Ryder Rivard, and that shift he kind of showed us why. He made a great play at the blue line, turned something into nothing. He made a great play down low here, got a backdoor pass. He looks good early.
Pretty good intensity early as well, and Rivard gets a shot off the draw. Now, this is a place yesterday where we talked about how East Grand Forks was so very strong when it came down to the draws, and Brad Paranika mentioned that in the scouting report
so it's
today.
obviously on their radar too.
Panzer will take a draw, and it looks like they're going to throw DeZiel out of the face-off dot. Shea Kwame will come in to take the draw against Panzer. And after a conversation, the puck just stamps on the dot and doesn't go anywhere. Picked up by Tucker Lovejoy for East Grand Forks near the neutral zone. Chupka looking up the ice, finding Lovejoy, blue line to blue line. This will sweep back, though, into the Grand Forks Central end. Back to pick it up for the Knights was Wyatt Blake on the defensive side. This will rotate back up the wall. Clausen will go back to get one before an icing call. And Clausen looks to transition back out. Another long stretch pass, and Chupka gets absolutely manhandled against the wall by Logan Bina. And then Bina gives Chupka a little bit of a wave into the legs as well. That was an early physical play. And Bina will send it out. I'm surprised Bina didn't get called for a penalty.
Probably was close, and I'll tell you this about Logan. He's a feisty player, and he does not shy away from that kind of hockey.
I kind of like it. Puck on the near side boards for East Grand Forks, rather for Grand Forks Central. Kason Panzer turns it up the ice, and we'll have an offside call just as a stretch was coming in from Henning Gibbs as Central goes to their fourth line for a shift with 12:42 left to go in the opening period of play. Our coverage this afternoon brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks and Devils Lake, where the PS stands for perfect service at PS Garage Doors. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz with you today. Bodie Schmaltz has the puck for East Grand Forks. Swept up the far side wall. Sean Lind into the neutral zone. That's pinned right back down off the far side ice. Carson Cutterba. Rather, Logan Nielsen was there for the Knights. This will come back up on the far side with Lind. Tries to make a dish near edge, and a big hit right in the neutral zone. Braden Overgaard got to step in and just absolutely lit up Mason Bensley, who's a fourth-line winger for Grand Forks Central. Puck's back behind the net. Wyatt Court centering that third line. Coming out near edge, played it back as far as the blue line. They're going to say offside, delayed here against East Grand Forks. Now they can dig for it. And a pin up against the wall by Bensley, trying to turn this back into the neutral zone. He found Nolan Marteau, who scissors through a couple, and Marteau took a big hit from Cy Chelman, who we've been really impressed with over the last couple of days. Puck will go back into the neutral zone, tipped back up into the East Grand Forks end. Cy Chelman impressed us yesterday.
Yeah, had a great game yesterday. Big body, hard shot. Got a goal on the power play and looked good in a lot of different phases of the game.
Marteau taking away a puck for Grand Forks Central, dancing through a pair of East Grand Forks defenders. Still no score. 11:30 to play in the opening frame. Puck loose, left side wall. Easton Olsen for the Green Wave. And a turnover into the neutral zone. Gavin Walkenfuss steps up in the offensive end. Went reaching against Cole Schmiederberg. Couldn't find the puck back. Marteau pins it down to the offensive zone. Back to Walkenfuss in the high slot. Now Marteau over against the wall, getting a chip on it. Chelman comes over, puts a body in on Walkenfuss. He hits the side of the net, then goes wraparound. Schindele kept that away. Loose puck swept to Easton Olsen in the left corner for East Grand Forks. Olsen coming back out near side, finding Chelman. This second line has been on the ice for a while for the Green Wave. East Grand Forks sends it down.
I don't know if you saw it, Ryan, but Chelman might have saved a goal. Central had set up a really nice play. They're about to go back door, and Chelman picked a stick and probably saved a breakaway pass right there.
He has
Great
been
defensive play.
A really nice step-up player. Here's Trey Clausen, 3-on-2 odd man. One-timer off the right from Jacob Spicer that ends up open over the bar. Clausen went to get the rebound, fights off a hit, tries a little dribbler off the right edge of the circle, right edge of the slot, inner circle, ends up just missing it wide. That was a great play for Trey Clausen. The puck will be sent back into the Grand Forks Central zone. Knights trying to build some momentum with 10:15 to play in the opening period, and this one's thrust up into the crowd. You know, that play by Trey Clausen a moment ago, absorbed a hit. That was the thing about him last year. You just couldn't take him down when he had his stick on the puck.
That kid's a fire hydrant out there. Once he's got the puck, he does such a good job of protecting it, and he's so thick that you can't bump him off the puck. And that was a play where he just sort of took over and he skated around about 3 east side guys, like you said, took the hits and dished one back door. Close call there.
We'll draw to the right circle of the Grand Forks Central zone. Wyatt Courts dueling against DeZiel. Che Kwame comes out with it. He's got a step driving in, 2-on-2, fires and hits Schindele in the helmet. Ends up popping in front of or actually into the air, and then flops in front of the crease, and Courts will bring it over to the near side wall, where Kwame and Rivard both go digging for it. DeZiel also there, and DeZiel swept it back into the East Grand Forks end. Max Beese will play it out for the Green Wave. This works back to Braden Overgaard on the right side wall. He's confronted on the near side by Bodie Burris. Puck will come loose. Burris has got it just inside his own line. Looks up the wall to Rivard. A little bit of a mishandle from Rivard. This floats back across the ice. Nolan Mellebrook with another takeaway for East Grand Forks. Rivard will send him into the wall. And the loose puck is found by Che Kwame. He comes back cross ice looking for Logan Nielsen. Nielsen steps through a hit. It works back into the Grand Forks Central end, however. Burris stick handling against Mellebrook, plays it off the wall. Schmiederberg's there to cut it off along the dotted line and turns it back to Mellebrook just inside the neutral zone. Great pass. Here's Chelman. He'll fire and score. Cy Chelman coming off the left side. He takes a great pass from Mellebrook, and Chelman will put up the first scoring of the day, and it's 1-0 in favor of East Grand Forks.
Yeah, there's that heavy shot from Chelman. We've been talking about him all game so far. I mean, it's kind of just a low-key 2-on-2, Ryan, but like you said, Mellebrook throws one cross ice to Chelman, who got a little bit lost on the far side, wide open, and he snaps one home.
Time of the goal will be at 7 minutes and 48 seconds of the opening period. Inside, Chelman comes up with the opening scoring of the day today to make it a 1-0 lead for East Grand Forks over Grand Forks Central. It's not that the Knights hadn't played well up until that point, but East Grand Forks has done exactly what Tyler Palmasino asked them to do, rise to the occasion. We'll get the official scoring on the goal. It should be Chelman from Mellebrook, and we'll see what else happens here. Puck back to Panzer in the Grand Forks Central zone. They're going to put an assist on Schmiederberg on that play as well. So it'll be Chelman from Mellebrook and Schmiederberg, and the time of the goal will be at 7:48 of the opening period. We're going to see a draw coming up on the Grand Forks Central line, and a late change by East Grand Forks.
Got the Nolan Marto line out there. They had a really good shift last shift, created a couple opportunities. See if they can do that again.
So East Grand Forks, with the first scoring of the day, makes it a 1-0 lead in favor of the Green Wave over Grand Forks Central. Puck in the neutral zone, and Ryan Clausen taking it out. He goes back to center ice to find Sean Lind, who drives into the Grand Forks Central end. It's be shoveled back up the ice by Kason Panzer, picked up on the line by Beese, and nearly taken away by the Knights. They're offside if they step in. And a pitch up the ice coming in from Gavin Walkenfoos to play it back up. Max Beese will come away with it. 1-0 in favor of East Grand Forks. We're at the halfway point of the opening period. And we'll see a puck back in the Grand Forks Central end. Comes back up near side of the line. Clausen looking backdoor, trying to find a little crash from Jacob Spicer. Spicer holds the puck in the far corner, dribbles it back out high. Easton Olsen was there but turned it over. Another play off the right side by Spicer, and there's a quick snapshot coming in from Clausen. Schindele makes another nice save, and he's had to be on top of his game today. Back over on the right, picked up in the far corner by Brady Kirkaby. Kirkaby back into Clausen. Clausen circling back out near side, comes to a stop, pulls back down to the corner, leaves it there for a rotation coming back to the near side by Kirkaby. A drive deep into the corner. Clausen tries to pull it around a defender, and now he's got Schmiederberg in his sights. Put Schmiederberg up against the wall. Mellebrook trying to knock it down. Boy, lots of pressure from this third line for Grand Forks Central, but here comes a 3-on-3 breakout. Shellman again coming up in the offensive end. He's got Olsen in front. A great shot. Nielsen had to tick that away with the very top of his stick.
You know, we talked about that Trey Clausen line all year last year, Ryan. Whenever Central was struggling, whenever game, when that third line came out there with Trey Clausen, they always seemed to sort of flip it for Central. And they've had 2 or 3 really, really good shifts in a row here.
They have, yeah. Well, Trey Clausen created his own scoring opportunity just a couple of moments ago. And they've done a really nice job throughout the day. Kirkaby's back out there with that line. Kirkaby had a touch on the puck, and this will rotate back behind the net. Tucker Lovejoy's over to pick it up for East Grand Forks. Puck was left behind, won there by Logan Bina. He played it back out in the neutral zone, and Bodie Schmaltz will get right to it and send it back in to the Grand Forks Central zone. 1-0 on our All True scoreboard today. Scoreboard updates brought to you by All True. And puck back to the near side for Bina. He'll put it back out in the neutral zone. It's picked off in neutral ice. Wyatt Court's trying to charge up the ice. Lovejoy gets roughed off a spot. And a great chance by Braden Overgaard coming off the left wall. But an impressive save by Weston Nielsen, who's also had to be on top of his game today.
Well, that's Burke in that. They went with Burke.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah, we had Weston, I think, on the lineup sheet. But, yeah, really good save. It was a rebound that went the opposite side of the ice. And Burke very headsy to get over there and be ready because that shot came in hot.
We'll see a draw to the right of Burke, so thank you for the correction on that. Rylan Burke getting the start today. Yes, we had Nielsen on the sheet, but Burke will get the start today. Huge hit. Ryder Rivard just lights up Cole Schmiederberg, and the puck ends up back in the East Grand Forks zone. We've seen a couple of just real head knockers so far here today. Overgaard comes away with it. Looks back up in the neutral zone. Weak pass that's bladed down by Che Kwame. Kwame tries to get a turn off the near side wall. Left to the near edge. From the point, Bodie Burris sends one in wide. Court's back behind the net. DeZiel got high with the stick, and a penalty's coming up. And it looks like East Grand Forks is going to head to the power play. It'll be touched up by Central, and this should be a high sticking call, I'm going to expect. No tripping call. And the time of this penalty will be at 11 minutes and 16 seconds. And they're going to put DeZiel in the box. I thought DeZiel got high with the stick. I would have thought that that was where that penalty was
low.
going.
He might even skate on skate, kind of a trip there, and arguing with official Eric Martinson, who has no issues arguing back.
Why not? get your fill on the way to the box, right? Actually, it probably doesn't make you a whole lot of friends a little bit later. So a power play brought to you by RBB Electric, on call, on time, and online. RBBElectric.com, bringing you a power play for East Grand Forks as the Green Wave lead 1-0 will go on the man advantage for the first time today. Wyatt Blake trying to shovel one out of his own end. Another shot comes in on Burke. Back off to the top, Lovejoy, and this evades Max Beese, and East Grand Forks left to get back on side as that one dribbles outside the blue line. Lovejoy turns one back towards Mellowbrook on the left wall. He steps up into the offensive end. Mellowbrook widening down towards the far corner. Left it back to the point for Lovejoy. He gets put into the wall. The puck will come back behind the net, and Wyatt Blake will blast one out for Grand Forks Central. Got it back out into the neutral zone. Beese giving back off the near side for Panzer. And a step back into the defensive end now for Lovejoy, trying to widen out. Splits a pair of defenders, turns this into a mild 3-on-2. Lovejoy takes the chance himself. It's over the bar, swept clean back on the right side by Blake again. And now this one dribbles loose in the neutral zone. Walkenfuss opportunistic, coming up looking for a shorthanded chance, and he'll retreat back defensively.
Yeah, as good as the power play is for East Grand Forks, over the past several years, one thing we've seen from Central, their penalty kill, they are looking to score goals, and they do it often. So got to be aware if you're East Grand Forks that they're coming at you.
55 seconds left to go on the power play and counting for East Grand Forks, brought to you by RBB Electric. Clausen back on the blue line, steps up into the offensive end, makes a drop pass off the left side for Braden Overgaard. And this will be immediately cleared by Central again. And you're right, they're not done. Clausen going into attack. Schindele, who had the puck back behind the East Grand Forks net, sweeping back. Bodie Schmaltz to get to it for the Green Wave. He'll step away from pressure as Clausen just lurks out on top, and now it's Ryan Clausen that steps back to come out with it. Ryan Clausen being chased by Trey Clausen. Courts coming up the ice. He evades a defender, gets up 3-on-2, drops one off, and a blast wide by Bodie Schmaltz. Overgaard over to pick it up off the half wall. Turn it back into Schmaltz behind the central net. Schmaltz will step back out left circle to Clausen, left point. Right side, Chelman, who's already got one today, blasts one wide. Back to Schmaltz on the left point. Really first opportunity for East Grand Forks getting to the cycle. Chelman tries to close the gap again, and a puck deflected up into the webbing and will go out of play.
Boy, when Chelman gets a puck on his stick, he's thinking one thing, Ryan. That's shoot.
Yeah, well, and he's got a good shot, right?
He does. We saw it already once today. We saw it yesterday, but
he's one of those players that might start to get a little bit more confidence as we go through. Just a sophomore playing a winger on a second line, and you wouldn't expect that to be the type of play that you'd get out of a sophomore.
No, but he's, I mean, if you're looking at East Grand Forks right now, he's got to be the one that's jumping off the page more than probably anybody today.
Back behind the net, East Grand Forks with it. Panzer coming out right side. Max Beese has one deflected up and over. And we'll see another draw coming up. Our draws are brought to you today by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of ag tires in the region. And brought to you today by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround. Family-owned and operated promotional shop in Grand Forks with 3:26 left of the opening period. 1-0 lead for East Grand Forks over Grand Forks Central. Beese, right point, Schmiederberg driving one through, and that one's turned away by Rylan Burke.
It's another face-off win. Now, Central's done a really good job so far of kind of taking care of these face-offs, but that's another clean win for East Grand Forks. A couple of passes and a one-timer from Schmiederberg.
We'll draw again on the right side of the central zone. Panzer will take the draw against DeZiel. And DeZiel ends up winning the draw. Picked up back behind the play by Wyatt Blake, coming out near side wall, looking for Rivard. Lovejoy stops on his own line, and Panzer will pick it up in the neutral zone for the Green Wave. Played back to Schmiederberg. Schmiederberg a stop, up to Mellowbrook, turned over. A play by Kwame trying to get loose, couldn't quite turn it back up ice. Lovejoy will get a chip of one. And this will flow back into the central end where Wyatt Blake is back to get it against Mellowbrook. Puck back near side, too strong for DeZiel, trying to race it down to the offensive end, and he turned over Quartz, and now Kwame short-sided, ends up sending one high. Mellowbrook will take one back out by the East Grand Forks line. He drives one up ice, and Burke will be happy to hang on to that one, and we'll draw with 2:42 left to go in the opening frame.
Got Mellowbrook and Rivard kind of behind the play a little bit, exchanging some slashes up around the hand and wrist area.
Hey, that's fine, right?
Spice this up a little bit.
2:42 left to go in the opening period of play. Lone goal so far for Cy Chelman, coming at 7:48 of the opening period. Grand Forks Central's killed off a power play since then as well. Overgaard looking for a loose puck in the neutral zone off the draw. Grant Kovar will chip up into the central end. He'll end up losing control of the puck. It's picked up coming back by Sam Presting. Another shift for the fourth line here. Bodie Burris will play one back up the wall for Central into the East Grand Forks end. A turn by Lind. Big hit along the far wall. A couple of bodies go down, and now another one, and we've got a whistle for offside against Central. But yeah, a couple of bodies hit the wall hard. Probably sounded worse than it was, but it sounded bad.
It did. There were a couple big hits, but let's go back to that fourth line comment. I mean, that is their second shift, and if you go back to the interview to start the pregame, Grant talked about his fourth line and how no one fell out of place, and to prove it, he put him out there in an offensive zone or defensive zone faceoff. No question, no thought, just putting him out there for that draw.
Chelman coming back up the ice for East Grand Forks. A turn back out towards the high slot. Mellowbrook will pick it off. Goes loose to the far wall. Henning Gibbs trying to play it up the boards. Gets turned around again, back into the zone, and Logan Nielsen will pitchfork this one. It rolls on an end. Ends up back in the East Grand Forks end. Schmiederberg retreating, looking back to come back up ice. Chelman found it. Works back over towards the right side of the Grand Forks Central zone. Kaysen Panzer is back to pick it up for the Knights. He'll rotate back to Bodie Burris. 1:45 to play, counting. Here in the opening frame. Clausen trying to turn free. Had the puck knocked away from behind by Easton Olsen of East Grand Forks. Turn back to the line for Schmiederberg. He comes back to the neutral zone. Panzer had it. Loose puck comes back off to the right for Carson Cutterba. Played up the wall. Panzer finding it. Knocked away. Central's offside if they touch up. Now they'll wave it off. Puck loose again to Panzer for East Grand Forks. He gets pulled away from the play. Loose puck coming back to the right for Carson Cutterba. And now play coming up for Trey Clausen off the left wall. Ryan Clausen will pay attention to him, and they match up in the corner. Ryan Clausen was able to backhand it to the right side, found Chupka with a breakout. Lovejoy steps up into the neutral zone. Less than a minute to play in the opening frame. Loose puck left side. Bodie Schmaltz taking a look. Back out Panzer to the high slot. A turn by Clausen on a weak backhander. Water bottles on the ice. Don't see that very often. The water bottle for, I believe it's Rylan Burke's water bottle dancing around back there. You see that very often? I don't know that we've ever seen that one.
Tried to, actually in my head, I don't. You never see it down there.
I've never seen the water bottle on the ice. Walkenfuss trying to pull one free. Turned over. Big gathering in front of the East Grand Forks crease, and Walkenfuss has a backhander that goes wide. Spicer picks it up. Great pass back to Walkenfuss. Walkenfuss has it stretch off his backhand side. Marteau follows it. Turns, tries to go short-sided. This one will hop up on a dasher and roll all the way back to the neutral zone with 10 seconds left. Blake over to pick it up, comes out towards the near side for Burris. Instead, it's Walkenfuss. He makes a great pass up the ice, found Marteau in a seam. Marteau turned it back, looking for a crash from Walkenfuss, and that's going to be the end of the first period of play. And a hit right at the whistle. Now we've got Mellowbrook hooking up with Burris, and I think we've got some pushing and shoving and officials trying to separate some people out. Actually, that was Logan Bina that took the hit from Mellowbrook, and you had mentioned throughout the period, Mellowbrook had mixed it up with a couple of different nights, and it kind of boiled over there at the end of the first frame.
Well, he kind of gave Logan a pretty big hit there, Bina, as the clock ran down, and a few people took exception to that, and then a few more took exception to them taking exception.
How did that go? They took exception to taking exception? Is that how that went?
Yeah, you got me.
Okay, I'll go with that. All right, we're at the end of a period of play, and your score on the All True scoreboard is East Grand Forks 1 and Grand Forks Central nothing. We're through one period. We've got our intermission report coming up, brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks, and it's on the way in just a couple of moments. We invite you to stay with us as we continue our coverage of high school hockey this afternoon on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. We'll be back with more in just a couple of moments, so don't go anywhere. In the meantime, a quick pause, and we'll continue our coverage in just a moment. Do stay with us.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop proudly supports our local high school athletes on the field, the court, and beyond. Just like sports, adventure starts with the right gear. The Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
The body shop you work with is your choice, so pick the local team with the service you trust. Modern Auto Body in Grand Forks can make it look like the accident never happened. Schedule an appointment for an estimate on our website or give us a call.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. We are through a period of play, and East Grand Forks has a 1-0 lead over Grand Forks Central as we continue our coverage of the Gambuchi Cup Series today from East Grand Forks Civic Center Arena. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz with you here today as we take you through period number 1 of this matchup and get ready for our second period that we'll have for you coming up here this afternoon. And well, Ryan, this one maybe not exactly what we thought it would be going forward, except for the fact that East Grand Forks, even on legs that are just barely removed from their last game, came out with a lot of jump, a lot of energy. I thought Central did as well, but in the long run, Central maybe just not quite as organized as you'd like to see them, and East Grand Forks was.
Yeah, we talked about kind of the long layoff, and that's twofold, right? You get a lot of energy, a lot of juice, ready to go, ready to play, but you've also only been practicing, and that's, you can practice all you want, but game situations are different. So maybe a little bit loose for Central there. They made some kind of silly mistakes, some bad ones, but give credit to East Grand Forks. I thought they had a great period. They kind of weathered a few storms. Shindley was good again, and then when they had opportunities, they turned it right back on Central and had plenty of chances of their own. Cy Chelman, I mean, what a great couple of days that he's had. A sophomore, a second-line winger. He's got the lone goal right now for East Grand Forks. Had a great day yesterday, made some great plays again today. This guy has been on top of it. We're really impressed with the youngster from East Grand Forks. Yeah, he was a guy, obviously, we talked about a lot yesterday. He had that great power play goal, and then he comes back today, and I mean, a lot of guys did some good things for East Side in that first period, but I mean, really, he was kind of the one that we seem to notice maybe more than anybody. Absolutely. He had a very, very good
first period of play here again today after a great game yesterday for East Grand Forks as the Green Wave lead 1-0 on his efforts that we have for you here today. We won't be able to show you the goal that he had, but Chilman does come up with the lone goal that we have for you today. And we have the opportunity to bring you our Who Lit the Lamp with Bergstrom Electric, bringing you Who Lit the Lamp. They make it shine brighter at Bergstrom Electric with Who Lit the Lamp. And you can see there the lone goal that we have today for East Grand Forks from Cy Chilman. Assist from Nolan Mellebrook and Cole Schmiedeberg. It comes at 7:48 of the opening period. That's the lone goal that we have in the first frame so far today, with Cy Chilman coming up with the first goal today. He had one yesterday as well, a bar down goal in the power play. Today he scores at even strength for East Grand Forks, and Chilman with the lone goal so far this afternoon. Grand Forks Central still yet to get on the board. And again, Who Lit the Lamp is brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp shine brighter at Bergstrom Electric. Well, at the end of a period of play, it's 1-0 in favor of East Grand Forks over Grand Forks Central. And we'll talk more about what's coming up in the world of hockey next, including our schedule, and give you an update on what's happening with UND football today, as well as they are trying to hold on for dear life in the first round of the NCAA Division I FCS playoffs. So hang on with us for that. We'll get to that coming up here in just a couple of moments. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. And we're back with more in a moment.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
The body shop you work with is your choice, so pick the local team with the service you trust. Modern Auto Body in Grand Forks can make it look like the accident never happened. Schedule an appointment for an estimate on our website, or give us a call.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to GrandForksWelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great-tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades, or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
For expert sales and service, visit Acme Equipment or online at acmekubota.com.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. Our intermission report this afternoon is brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine. They are the Men of Steel. They've been with you throughout the course of this harvest season, and as you put things away, if it needs fixing, it needs repair, they've got you covered at Grand Forks Welding and Machine. Broken shafts, holes that need tightening, they have you covered. Grand Forks Welding and Machine, they are the Men of Steel. And High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. Get a great system from High Plains Water. Get the taste into your water, get the chemicals out. No more scaly buildup on your fixtures, and longer lasting appliances, which will save you money. High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. We welcome you back to East Grand Forks Civic Center Arena. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz with you here this afternoon as we look to continue our Gambuchi Cup Series. Grand Forks Red River and East Grand Forks playing yesterday. Riders get the loss, and East Grand Forks takes the win, 5-2 the final. So today East Grand Forks comes in with 3 points in the Gambuchi Cup standings, and this will be the first of a good series that we'll have throughout the course of the year this year. Looking forward to some great hockey down the road, and of course we're all kind of paying attention to a matchup on January 20th, the first time in 30 years that Central and Moorhead will step on the ice against one another, and it's a home and home. So Central fans, wait for year 31. They come back to Grand Forks next year, but this year Central goes down to Moorhead. That should be a heck of a matchup.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for weeks. I didn't know that it had been that long since they played each other.
30 years, that's what Tony Bina tells us. 30 years, yes.
That seems weird given it's an hour, but
Moorhead
does Moorhead things, so that's fine.
21 games, and
you're limited. You're limited.
The whole region and new teams coming in. I mean, you know how it goes, right?
How it goes,
Yep. But that should be a fantastic matchup that night.
Really excited. I mean, Moorhead, we were talking before, they had all of those guys leave to go to the Fargo Forest, AAA, all these other options, and then as the season started, all of those guys came back. So this is a Moorhead team that was going to be good, but now seems like the odds-on favorite, at least right now, to repeat as state champions.
Yeah,
division.
The word was that they're not looking to repeat, they're looking to build a dynasty in Moorhead. So that's a big word to use, dynasty, when you're talking about high school hockey in Minnesota. Building a dynasty can be a little difficult to do. So, but that is a look at our intermission report today. And again, January 20th is the day to be watching for that one. First time in 30 years that we'll see those two teams hook up. But in the meantime, a hookup that continues today between East Grand Forks and Grand Forks Central. By the way, an update on UND football. You've got the score in front of you. Hawks leading by 11.
Yeah, we got a disaster of a game going on here, but we're up 17-6, 11 minutes left. Jerry's out of the game. Concussed on a dirty hit that was not flagged.
Of course.
Just picked him off. We just picked him off, so we're at the 30s, so
11-point game with 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Need some points here, Ryan.
Here we go, second period. Grand Forks Central trailing East Grand Forks by a score of 1-0. Tucker Lovejoy will dump one in to the Grand Forks Central end. DeZiel's over to pick it up, goes looking for Rivard along the far wall, and now Kwame gets pinned up by Panzer. DeZiel trying to pull it out, does, but he'll immediately ring it around the wall back in his own end, but this is deflected back towards Rylan Burke, who got the start today in the net for Grand Forks Central. Beast comes up with control. Panzer will rotate one down towards the corner. Jake Chupka will turn it back out to the point. Clausen was waiting. Instead, Panzer picks it up. Panzer, a look, one-timer that's broken up, and also a broken stick in the play. I believe it's DeZiel that broke a twig. In the meantime, Chupka turns at a loose puck out on top of the crease, and Burke will reach out and hold on for a whistle for Grand Forks Central, getting a reset that it looked like the Knights kind of needed in that situation.
Yeah, they needed it bad. DeZiel had no stick, but that play starts with a central defender trying to clear the puck. He had more time than he thought, but he throws one off the glass. Beast does a great job of knocking it down, keeping the puck in. Another 20 seconds in your own end for Central.
Max Beast has been a beast the last couple of days. Nolan Marteau will take the draw for Grand Forks Central against Nolan Mellebrook. So let's see, we've had a couple of Clausens after each other. Now we've got a couple of Nolans after each other as well. Marteau coming out with it, trying to stake through a pair of East Grand Forks defenders. Got to put it out in front. A one-timer jabbed at by Rylan Spicer. He came up just empty. In the meantime, Cy Chelman turns away and comes up ice with Easton Olsen. Chelman working into the corner. He gets booted by Logan Bina. Bina's been very physical throughout the course of the day. And out comes Marteau with the puck. Into the neutral zone, 3-on-3. Poked off his stick that time by a good retreat coming from Cole Schmiederberg. Puck comes back towards the right side. Quick chance in on Schindley. He'll kick that one away as the puck came out towards the right. It'll come back into the right side wall again. Walkenfuss looking for Marteau. Ma'am, if you could do us a favor, our camera's here. Thank you very much. Okay, appreciate that. Puck back out to the neutral zone, off to the right side, picked up by Rylan Spicer. Apologies for the introduction. You wouldn't, or I guess you could say the interruption there, as Schindley will step one down. I've never understood what it is about broadcast equipment, cameras, and everything that makes people feel like there's no big deal stepping right in front of you and messing up your scoreboard. I've never understood it before.
Seems to be a theme today.
Just have some court awareness is all I'm asking. Just look around and see what's going on in front of you. Maybe make a good call. This is why there's car accidents. Courts will take the draw against Clausen and ends up in the corner. Max Beast circling out towards the right. He'll play it back to Braden Overgaard. Comes loose into the neutral zone. Kaysen Panzer backing up with one for Central. Turns it back to Clausen high slot. Clausen widening out towards the right. Got into the corner. Stepped on by Beast. It goes loose behind the net. Brady Kirkaby found it. Tried to make a feed for Clausen. Broken up. Overgaard turns it back towards the line. Then Quartz picks it up in the neutral zone. And we'll just send this one into the protective netting. Not going to be icing. We're going to have a neutral zone face-off right in the center dot.
Let's go back a shift. The Nolan Mardo, Ryland Spicer, Gavin Walkenfuss line. I mean, they've had a couple of shifts that they've put together, Ryan, where they just seem to, man, they're just all over the net. They've had several chances. That feels like a line that might be due for one.
They have had a good day today. And now the first line for East Grand Forks will match up with the third line for Grand Forks Central. It'll be Clausen versus Panzer for the draw. And Clausen came away with a touch on it. Jacob Spicer comes up into the offensive end for Central, but is outraced to the puck by Tucker Lovejoy. Actually, correction by Grant Kovar, who we saw yesterday in a defensive role for East Grand Forks, and he was very good as their fifth defender. I think their blue line has got a lot of promise on the Green Wave side. They've been impressive the last couple of days.
Yeah, both defensively and offensively.
They've stepped up in the offensive end, of course, yeah, and then Kovar, I mean, here's their fifth one, and he plays like he's a first-pair defender. Puck comes back out to the left point. Nielsen guides one off the wall. Loose puck, Schmiederberg. Played back to the neutral zone. Picked off for the Knights and sent back up ice by Carson Cutterba. So go loose towards the far wall. Sam Presting, another shift for the fourth line coming out. Presting cut off by Chupka, and this is launched up into the crowd. We'll see a draw coming up. Our coverage is brought to you once again today by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors, where the PS stands for perfect service. 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors, serving the area since 1974. Rhino, how about this crowd?
Yeah,
this is filled in nicely.
Oh, yeah, it's filled in since the puck drop. I feel like second period there's more than there were in the first.
Puck goes loose to the far corner off the draw, and this will be pushed by Easton Olsen through the neutral zone, destined to be icing. And we'll see a draw coming up back in the East Grand Forks zone. Draws brought to you by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned and operation promotional shop in Grand Forks. And Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of egg tires in the region.
You mentioned this fourth line out there again. I mean, they've been in some big spots here. Now this is an offensive zone face-off they're out to start the shift for. There's a defensive zone, which, I mean, you just don't see a lot of teams put their fourth line out on a defensive zone draw. You just don't see it very often.
Right, offensive zone draw here like you mentioned, but yes, there's a lot of confidence in this fourth line. Presting with a takeaway. Bensley, rather, puts it back up into the offensive end. Goes loose to Beast on the right. He'll chip off the wall. Shellman looking for a touch, couldn't find it. Goes loose. Easton Olsen picks it up and poked off his stick. Henning Gibbs turns it right back into the neutral zone. Back off near side for Bodie Schmaltz. He'll toss one wide of the net. And Burke will step out to touch it up. 1-0 in favor of East Grand Forks over Grand Forks Central. 13:20 to play in the second period. The only goal so far, even strength, Cy Shellman coming up with the opening goal today. And since then, we've had kind of a defensive masterpiece. Only 17 total shots between the two teams. And we played a little better, right around 20 minutes of hockey.
Yeah, I mean, give credit to East Grand Forks. Central ended that period with 6 shots in the first period. I mean, if you can hold Central to 6 shots, you're doing something right.
Absolutely. They've clogged up a lot of passing lanes. They've made it difficult. There's a play down towards the doorstep, knocked around loose. Che Kwame looking for a touch out of the corner. This is pitchfork back into the neutral zone and may not have what it takes to get the icing call, so we'll see Burke stretch passing. Kwame taking one from DeZiel, down to the doorstep, score! Ryder Rivard with a huge assist coming back from the goaltender, Ryland Burke, who spied DeZiel up in the neutral zone and stretched it out. And Central will tie the game at 1.
I mean, that's a great 2-on-1 executed, but like you said, Ryland Burke's on opportunity. East Grand Forks dumps the puck in here, and you'll see it, and Ryland Burke just zips that thing all the way up to the far blue line for the assist.
There's the pass for Burke. DeZiel found Kwame, tic-tac-toe, and Rivard goes in for the goal. And a replay brought to you by American Family Insurance. Tyler Nagel, your agent in Grand Forks, and Grand Forks Central ties the game at 1.
And if you have a goalie, Ryan, who can come out and make plays like that, I mean, that's a weapon that people just don't think about very often, but pays off there for Central.
Going to assume that's Rivard from DeZiel and Kwame. We'll get the official time in the goal and we get the scoring on it, but a great play by Burke to get it started. And now a chance coming in from Kwame as a wrister that's deflected wide. Puck loose to the near side and it'll be played back down by Gavin Walkenfuss. Rivard does get credit for the goal. DeZiel picks up an assist on it. And Shea Kwame as well. So it'll be Rivard from DeZiel and Kwame. We'll get the time of the goal. They're calling it 4:23 of the second period. That'll tie it up at 1 apiece on the All True scoreboard. And we'll see a draw coming up in the East Grand Forks zone. Our scoreboard updates are brought to you by All True. Regular screenings with All True's care team. Detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment, visit alltrue.org or call 780-5000. Puck comes back, Walkenfuss with a drive off the draw. That's steered aside by Noah Schindele. Puck back out to the neutral zone. A hold right off the corner by Nolan Marto. He'll dump it back in. But boy, how lethal can that first line be when they have that many touches around the net? I mean, that was the entire first line that got active. And it looked very pretty, Ryan.
Well,
very pretty.
And that's what I had heard about that first line is in watching them in the scrimmage in the first game. It's just everything is just one touch. It's just on their stick, off their stick to the next guy. Get open, get it back. And we saw it right there.
You can tell that line likes playing with one another, right? Puck comes back near side. Bodie Schmaltz stepping up. Long-range chance on Burke. That's steered aside. And give the goalie a ton of credit, Ryland Burke, for realizing what was in front of him and stretching it out. Now we're going to see a whistle and a penalty coming up.
Yeah,
we're going to see a call against East Grand Forks for tripping.
Yeah, Nolan Marto got tripped up right about the center dot there, so power play opportunity for Central here.
It'll be Chelman that goes in for tripping. Time of the penalty will be at 5 minutes and 51 seconds. And a power play coming up for RBB Electric. And for Grand Forks Central, RBB Electric on call, on time, online, rbbelectric.com. So now it's Central to the power play, and we'll see what that man advantage unit looks like. DeZiel looking in towards the net. Ryland Spicer out there. Rivard and Kwame trying to hold it down. This will be cleared by East Grand Forks.
So Central going to go 4 forwards here. Logan Nielsen, the only D, and Ryland Spicer, the extra forward, along with the Rivard, DeZiel, and Kwame.
So we'll see Rivard, DeZiel, Kwame coming out there along with that first line. As you mentioned, Ryland Spicer, part of the first power play unit for Grand Forks Central, and it's DeZiel dancing right corner. Went down low and actually had an opportunity with Spicer. Then it's waved off the wall by Rivard, and Schindele was there to make that stop, and we'll draw coming up in the Grand Forks, rather in the East Grand Forks zone.
I don't think we can understate, even though Central just scored, about how good Schindele has been again today. I mean, he just gets big in that net. He takes away your angles with his size, and everything just looks easy.
He's been very confident so far today. Faces another shot from the left point that's turned away. Loose puck back to Kwame from the circle. One dances through from Rivard. Back out again to the left point for Kwame. Grand Forks Central on the power play for another minute, 5 seconds. Off the right, DeZiel sends one wide. Rivard waiting for it. Mellowbrook will try to clear it out of the zone, and he'll be able to do so. Back into the East Grand Forks end. Puck will be thrown up deep from Weston Nielsen. Goes back, and again, East Grand Forks come up with a clear. They've been pretty good on this power play clearing the puck, but Central's got such great speed coming back after you. They can get right back up and take advantage of it again.
Yeah, Central's had some good zone time, but nothing really to the net. And every loose puck has been cleared by East Grand Forks.
Grand Forks Central back up in the offensive end with 30 seconds left to go. And another clear coming up off the left wall. It's picked up there by Logan Bina. Retreating back to the neutral zone, goes looking for Trey Clausen. He took a hit from Beese. Touch up by Marto. He'll step back out into the neutral zone. A look by Walkenfuss, took a big hit from Courts that time. Puck loose on the left. Bina trying to go cross ice, hit the glass, and Courts got it up and over. Wyatt Blake trying to stand in defensively.
That should end the power play.
Not much of an opportunity there for Grand Forks Central in the man advantage. And that may be encouraging for East Grand Forks at that point. That's a nice penalty kill.
That was a really good kill.
We didn't see them have to go through penalty kill a lot yesterday, but they come up strong in that effort. Under 9 minutes to play second period. We're tied at 1 on the all-true scoreboard between East Grand Forks and Grand Forks Central. Central tying the game here in the second period on a goal from Ryder Rivard. Rivard trying to charge down to the far corner to pick one up from Grant Kovar. Loose, Kwame had it, played out in front of the net for Panzer. Panzer puts it off the wall. This will cycle back near side boards. Tucker Lovejoy came away with it. Lovejoy trying to look up the ice, and that was just batted down by Nielsen. Could have called a hand pass, but they will call offside instead, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was offsides, although I'm not sure who was offsides.
I'm not sure who was offside either, to tell you the absolute. I was waiting for the hand pass call.
Also waiting for the hand pass, and Oh, well.
We don't see the hand pass call, but instead we see an offside call against East Grand Forks. Nielsen picks up a puck for the Knights off the draw. Works back towards the right side. Kovar dumps it up into the offensive end. Nielsen again for Central. Nielsen cycling out, got back into the neutral zone. This is left up into the offensive end. A retreat by Mellebrook. Mellebrook looking back left, tried to stretch one out for Chelman. How is this sophomore from East Grand Forks in position every single time he's on the ice?
Another pass there, backdoor.
Pass going backside, trying to find Easton Olsen. Comes up off the wall. This will be dumped back to the neutral zone. They're going to wave off icing here. And the Knights with a 2-on-1 trying to come up without the puck. It's Beese playing it back into the corner. Mellebrook tries to turn it off the end wall. He'll be joined now by Cole Schmiederberg, but it works loose and it's taken up on the far side by Mason Bensley. This is the fourth line back on the ice for Central. Carson Cutterba back behind the net, dumping it there. It works back out to Braden Overgaard for East Grand Forks. Overgaard turned aside on the far side wall and swept right back up by Sam Presting, the center of that fourth line for Central. Beese is back to get to it. He's confronted by Clausen. Works it back out towards the near side for Sean Lind. Lind gets stopped in the neutral zone, tries to play it up the left wall, and a battle's on for control right along the central line. Lind got it back, tried to carry it in his backhand side. Knocked away from him loose. Loose puck comes back to Jacob Spicer, and Spicer took a big hit from Overgaard. The puck goes loose, and here comes a tripping call against East Grand Forks coming up. Central trying to get the extra attacker on the ice, and a hit right at the whistle. A hard hit coming in as we saw Kason Panzer leave his feet. And there's another gambling, or rather another gathering, if you will. We have two penalties on this.
So the first one is for sure a trip.
That's going to go against Courts.
On Courts, and he's already in the box, but, or do they both call the trip? Maybe they both had it up for the same call.
Time of the penalty will be at 10 minutes and 2 seconds. I expected Kason Panzer to maybe get a charging call on that, the way he left his feet to go into the wall, but it wasn't a huge play with the shoulder down, but when that second hand went up, Ryan, I'm like, I was with you, well, at least when I saw it. So Central will go on the power play again. Second man advantage for Central. Nielsen out high, quarterbacking the power play look. He made a pass off the left side for Rivard, and Rivard took his eyes off the puck, ends up losing it, and this will be cleared. Back into the Central zone.
Well, East Grand Forks has done a great job on these power plays. I mean, any loose puck, they seem to be the first one there, and that puck is instantly cleared.
Puck back up into the neutral zone for Grand Forks Central. Kwame, and we have an offside call. They're going to get the seal, I think.
Too.
Oh, do we have a penalty here?
Yep.
All right, so it looks like Central's going to trade some of the power play back, and we're going to skate 4-on-4 for a minute and a half.
Yeah, that was Ryland Spicer just tried to set a pick at the blue line, and he took down whatever east side player that was. So offsides and a penalty.
So Spicer will be called for interference. Time of the penalty at 10:27. And now we'll have a draw coming up in the Central zone.
Central's one heavy here. Yep, we got to go.
4-on-4. A lot of extra space out there now. DeZiel will take the draw against Chelman. I'm not sure who the extra space favors more in this situation.
Well, I was just trying to think that too. I mean,
there's plenty of speed on the ice for both teams right now. I'm not sure that any one has an advantage over another. More hitting. Beast that time put a charge into Rivard from behind. Loose puck is picked up near side by Wyatt Blake for Central. He'll turn it back towards the left. So look up ice, trying to find a long stretch pass. Logan Bina coming up. DeZiel's got a step. DeZiel's in. Backhander goes just wide of the net. He was in deep on Schindley. His backhander comes up empty. DeZiel gets the puck back and tries to deke around Clausen, but it's loose and picked up by Cy Chelman for East Grand Forks. And Chelman will come back to the near side, steps around a hit from Blake and moves back up into the offensive end. He'll put a charge in on Bina. Puck dribbles loose off towards the far side wall. Mellebrook will pick it up on the East Grand Forks right. Mellebrook coming rink wide, and DeZiel picked that off. DeZiel comes back into the neutral zone. Long pass up ice, finding Rivard. Rivard looking back to DeZiel. Too strong, and Max Beast was there to interfere with the angle. 35 seconds left of 4-on-4 skating, and you can't ice the puck when it's even. East Grand Forks just did that. We're going back to a draw in the East Grand Forks zone. Brought to you by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of ag tires in the region. And brought to you as well by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned and operated promotional shop in Grand Forks.
Let's go back to that breakaway for DeZiel. I mean, the play that set that up, I don't know if you saw Rivard on the wall. He's post at the far blue line. He catches a puck, makes a move on a defender, and then no-look blind throws it to the middle of the ice and hits the Zeal in stride.
There's a lot of chemistry out there between those folks. Panzer comes away with the puck for East Grand Forks. Right side taken up by Lovejoy, and his snapshot deflected. Loose puck back in the corner. Nielsen turns it up the wall. Marto turns into a hit from Bodie Schmaltz. Loose in the neutral zone. Comes back right along the dotted line. Picked up there by Panzer. Schmiederberg steps in. Long range on Burke. He'll knock that away. Panzer, Chase Panzer that is, trying to chase it down for East Grand Forks. Comes back, turn right side. Little backhanded pass looking for Lovejoy, shuffling one in. Burke found it, and just at the whistle, East Grand Forks' penalty on Courts will come to a conclusion. So now the Green Wave will be at full strength with 4:58 to go. 25 seconds of power play advantage.
Yeah, that actually worked out really well for East Side. They get a whistle right as their penalty comes out. So now they get 5-on-4 for 25 seconds with a draw to sort of set something up here.
It'll be Panzer versus, Clausen for the draw here. And it comes back to the near point for Cole Schmiederberg on the left. Schmiederberg going rink wide. One-timer by Beast that got through cleanly again. He did that all day yesterday against Grand Forks. Red River Central will clear. I don't know how Beast gets him through all the time, but he's just found angles to be able to work with.
I'll tell you what, that's a special skill that people don't always think about, is the defenseman being able to get his shot through.
Beast now skating up the ice, comes in deep. It got another shot away on Burke. Burke tried to cover up the puck and couldn't find it. And now off to the near side. Here comes Wyland Spicer. Spicer coming in, and Schindele stones him for a huge save. Noah Schindele turning that one away as Spicer got loose on the breakaway. And East Grand Forks comes up with a dodging of a bullet there. Here's Mellebrook trying a wrister from the top of the left circle. That time Burke knocked it in the air. Back out in front, Lind had an open one-timer from the high slot, missed on it, and Grand Forks Central comes back to the direction with Henning Gibbs. Gibbs in the near side corner has support from behind from Che Kwame as they're starting a change. Now it's Wyatt Courts that knocks one free for East Grand Forks, and this is turning back and forth into nothing but fast break hockey.
Yeah, we're just trading grade A's like crazy right now.
Everything's up and down the ice at this point. Everyone trying to stretch out with the final 3:45 of the second period. It's 1-1. East Grand Forks and Central. Turnover, overguard for East Side trying to struggle through a hit. Burke reaches out to cover up a puck and took a shot in the head. Appears to be okay and will draw in the central zone. That's a lot of pace.
Just one-timer, breakaway,
Absolutely.
one-timer, breakaway. It's just back and forth. What a sequence.
That was
and
a
by
lot
the way,
of fun.
This whole period, bodies flying everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's selling out here. Here's a shot by Olsen that's deflected up in the net behind the Grand Forks Central goal. You're right. Bodies all over. Everything's 110%. Just fast break hockey right now.
By the way, to sidetrack slightly, 30-6 North Dakota football.
They're moving on.
2 minutes left.
Puck loose off the draw. Picked away, I believe, that time by Mason Bensley. Another defensive zone draw for the fourth liners. Heading Gibbs. Coming back out in the neutral zone. Reached back, couldn't find it. Easton Olsen up to Mellebrook. Mellebrook will toss this off the end wall. Goes loose to the right of the central net. Burke gets taken out. Helmet's off. Stick loose. Net's off its pegs. Absolute train wreck. Looks like I-29 on a Tuesday down by Argusville when a semi jackknifes.
Based on how this period has gone, I thought that would have ignited something a little more than it did. But
you know, it's funny. Burke's taken some shots today, and Central's been like, yeah, okay, we're going to keep playing.
2 in a row there. That first cover he had, I don't know, 30 seconds ago, to get to go a skate or a stick in the head. This time he gets trucked.
It was a knee. He took a knee right in the head. Not this one, but the previous play. Out on top,
Beast.
Beast trying to get a one-timer off the draw, and there's a stick broken on the ice. Is it Beast's?
No,
no.
Central.
No, it's central stick that's broken. Wyatt Blake trying to turn one back to neutral. Here's a stretch pass. Walkenfuss, 3-on-1. Wrister knocked down by Schindele. He reaches out to make the save. And now Bodie Schmaltz takes some exception to Schindele getting bumped into. He comes up with a bump. A Knight tumbles, and officials down. It's fight night at the Civic here tonight all of a sudden.
By the way, Walkenfuss got that chance because he broke his stick in his defensive zone. He went off to get a new stick, and then gets a new stick, and the puck comes right to him, 2-on-1 the other way.
There's some pure craziness going on right now in this one. 2:58 left of the second period. We're tied at 1. on the all-true scoreboard. And after they sort out that mess in front of the East Grand Forks goal, we'll draw again with Nolan Marto taking the draw for Grand Forks Central against Chase Panzer for East Grand Forks. They put it down. Marto wins the draw on a snapper by Clausen off the draw. Actually, not Clausen, my apologies. Ryland Spicer off the draw. Ends up blasting wide. We'll draw again coming up in the East Grand Forks end.
Nolan Marto's a really good face-off guy, Ryan. High percentage guy in the dot.
Knocks one towards the corner this time. Max Beast will pick it up for East Grand Forks. Comes out to Overgaard on the near side wall. Nielsen takes control for Central in the neutral zone. Then Overgaard got to it. More bodies hit the deck. Loose puck to Nielsen trying to jump around a defender. Now this is held by Ryland Spicer up against the boards. Pulled away by Walkenfuss, who steps up in the offensive end. He goes looking for Marto on the point, then drives one in. And Noah Schindele reaches out with his paddle and just sort of waves at it like he's swatting a fly nonchalantly and sends it out of the arena. Have you ever seen Les give a rip? Swipe at a puck?
The more I watch this guy, the more he is just the most laid-back guy of all time, it seems like.
That's like Superman. That's a wrister coming in. Heck, I'll just snack that out of the way. I haven't seen anything quite like that before either. This has become a really, really interesting hockey game. Carson Cutterba pins a puck up against the wall. This will flow back into the neutral zone. Long race over to get to it for Case and Panzer. Panzer left side going for Jacob Spicer. It comes back to Panzer on the Grand Forks Central line. Now Schmiederberg will take control for East Grand Forks. Looks back towards the near side, and Olsen trying to play it up. Found Mellebrook charging in left side, tries to widen out in front. Dropped it away for Chelman, who was picked. Easton Olsen with the goalie down. Flails that one. They got to the top of the crease, and now Central's able to desperately clear with Ryland Burke weighted down on his back, and Central with sticks all around the goal. Somehow that didn't go in.
Yeah, Berkey was down, and that puck was loose, and he was trying his best to get a body on the puck or get his leg over it or try and get up. He couldn't do any of those. Like you said, Central defenders did a good job of picking up sticks and finally clearing that thing. That was a close call.
1-1 your score with 1:50 left to go, second period. Shea Kwame comes away with the puck for Grand Forks Central. We'll send one down to the near side corner. Panzer's back after it to get to it. He'll take a hit up against the wall. A loose puck coming back near side. Max Beast will play this one through. And another whistle. And we'll see icing. And we'll bring it back into the East Grand Forks zone for a draw. Again, our coverage today brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. Grand Forks, Devils Lake. The PS stands for Painless Shopping. You can find them in their warehouse on the other side of the Demers overpass on I-29 in the industrial park. They'll draw it to the left of Noah Schindele in the East Grand Forks zone. Beast goes back to get to it in the corner. He'll turn it back near side. DeZiel picked one off, hit the side of the net, trying to send it in from deep. Loose puck to the near side. Rivard taking a look. DeZiel rotates back towards the net, but instead it's Kwame picking it up behind the net. Kwame looking out in front, left one to the high slot. A chance there momentarily for Wyatt Blake. Couldn't get the shot away cleanly. Back up the ice. Burke looking again, trying to make a transition pass. This time Lovejoy knocked it away, but we'll see Blake coming back with the puck, finding DeZiel on the left wall for Central. DeZiel up in the offensive end. Now it's Kwame taking control in the corner. Kwame has stopped, tried to drop one off for Rivard. It's poked up against the wall. Max Beast turns it away. We're inside the final minute of the second period. Tucker Lovejoy looking to come up the boards, and Panzer will sweep it down. East Grand Forks will go off on a change. Central trying to catch them in it. Nielsen absorbs a hit from Mellebrook. Comes back into the neutral zone. Rivard got taken down. Mellebrook there for a loose puck. Then he's undercut, and a hit from Ryland Spicer. Now Overgaard deals out a hit, comes up with a puck and sends a wrister wide. This comes back to Schmiederberg right point. His shot gets blocked. Schmiederberg turns it back into the corner. Near side of the ice, Chelman trying to step away from pressure. Works around Blake, attacks the goal short-sided. Burke knocked it away. It's in front of him, swept up behind the net by DeZiel. Turned back to the near side point, but held in by Bodie Schmaltz. And here comes Central. 10 seconds left, 3-on-3. Nielsen will dump it into the far corner. Schmiederberg picks it up. And a fantastic second period of hockey will come to a conclusion with a tie matchup here at Civic Center Arena.
Well, I'll tell you what, the shots are now 19-16 East Grand Forks. So essentially both teams doubled what they did in the first period. But boy, it felt like it was 100 to 100 in that second period.
It really did. There was a lot of activity in that second period of play. And in the long run, what you end up with is a 1-1 hockey game. And that's really, we wouldn't have it any other way at this point, right? I mean, we've got the Gambuchi Cup Series going on. You want a good hockey game out of this one, and that's what we're getting right now at this point.
That's what we're getting. This third period should be wild.
So we'll come back with our second intermission. Our intermission report is brought to you once again by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. Our intermission report will be up in a moment. We'll take a look at a couple of highlights from the second period, so stay with us for that. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. Our intermission is next.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
The body shop you work with is your choice, so pick the local team with the service you trust. Modern Auto Body in Grand Forks can make it look like the accident never happened. Schedule an appointment for an estimate on our website or give us a call.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Blue-Rich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
We very much take a lot of pride in our work. Customer service has always been our number one.
We have the best materials. You're going to have the best people in the area to do the job.
If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Or head to gworkslf.com to get started.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new. Big or small, Finest Auto Trim can cover it all. To get a quote, go to finestautotrim.com.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens.
At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports this afternoon from East Grand Forks Civic Center Arena. Boy, has this one been a good one today. We are tied at 1 in the second Gambuchi Cup matchup that we have of the year, with East Grand Forks taking a 1-0 lead into the second period. Grand Forks Central scoring a goal to tie it up in period number 2. We welcome you back to East Grand Forks Civic Center Arena today as we continue our coverage of Green Wave hockey. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz with you here today. And, well, Ryan, that game ended, or I should say rather that period ended, very different than the game began. It was more controlled. It was more precision playmaking throughout most of the first period, maybe the start of the second. But about the last 4 or 5 minutes was nothing but just race up and down the ice, look for an opportunity and try to pick up the pace of the game. Both teams succeeded in picking up the pace of the game.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the number of shots. It felt like, I mean, what was it, 10 and 8 aside for each team? It felt like the scoring chances might have been more than the shots were. I mean, it just felt like the whole period was just one team chance down the ice, a chance on the other side. It was just back and forth the whole time. It was a really entertaining period. And on top of that, the physicality ramped up about tenfold. I mean, there were bodies flying everywhere. At any given time, it felt like there was just somebody laying on the ice because they just got rocked. So what a wild period. But we'll see what's in store for the third. I don't know if you can top that, though.
Well, I wonder if in this third period now, East Grand Forks playing yesterday begins to show up. But credit the Green Wave. They've shown you no evidence of fatigue so far today at all.
No, none at all. And that's a good point by you. I mean, the other thing, too, is Central's not afraid to use their fourth line. I mean, so you have a really fresh Central team. You have 4 lines available to use. And, yeah, does this hit East Side? But I don't know. I feel like at this point, Adrenaline's going to carry East Grand Forks all the way through this one.
Well, Adrenaline's going to have to carry them through as we take a look at some of the highlights that we had from period number 2 here today, and we get it started with the first goal of the game today for Grand Forks Central. And this is the goal, and it's set up by that big stretch pass from Ryland Berg. Comes off DeZiel, stick to Kwame. Great pass to Rivard, carrying it in. And Rivard scores the first goal of the game today for Grand Forks Central. And then here's an opportunity the other way where Central transitions up the ice quickly. DeZiel gets a step, drives in. Actually, it's not DeZiel, it's Spicer. But look at that quick take that you had in that situation coming from the goaltender, Noah Schindley, who's made some big stops today for East Grand Forks. So he had a big play there as well. But Grand Forks Central comes up with a goal to tie it up at 1 apiece. And that touch that we had between DeZiel, Kwame, and Rivard, we're going to see that a lot this year. That's what we came to look for today out of those 3, and they combine for another kind of highlight play.
Yeah, we haven't seen a ton of it today because East Grand Forks defended really well, but you can see right there, we've seen a little bit here and there, right? But when those guys get some space and they get some time, like you just said, it's on one stick and then it's off to the other guy, and it's just bing, bang, boom. It's just...
Yeah, it was very fast. I mean, the way that those two
and then to go back again, to reiterate the breakaway that DeZiel had, that pass from Rivard, I watched it the whole time. He didn't even look once. He just knew, if I put this here, DeZiel's coming right up the chute, and it was right on his tape. It was incredible.
Really lethal line. Let's take a look at Who Lit the Lamp, and Who Lit the Lamp is brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter, and in that second period, just 1 goal. It's Ryder Rivard from, Cooper DeZiel and Shea Kwame. So Rivard from DeZiel and Kwame came at 4:23 of the second period of play. Just 1 goal in that second period. But Rivard lights the lamp from DeZiel and Kwame, and that's who lit the lamp in the second period of play. And it's brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. Well, we'll continue our coverage of high school hockey coming up. Intermission report brought to you today by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. And that intermission report continues next on the Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
If you've got an electrical emergency, call RBB Electric. We are your 24/7 electrician. Your call will always be answered by an RBB employee ready to help 24/7. RBB Electric is on time every time. Your time is valuable, and we don't waste it. RBB Electric always calls ahead to schedule service. We are online always. If you suffer from slow download speeds, call our certified network designers and installers. On call, on time, and online. RBB Electric won't leave you in the dark. RBB Electric, your 24/7 electricians.
The body shop you work with is your choice, so pick the local team with the service you trust. Modern Auto Body in Grand Forks can make it look like the accident never happened. Schedule an appointment for an estimate on our website or give us a call.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need: turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Nelson Auto in Grand Forks is proud to sponsor area athletics. We know the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto in Grand Forks, home to Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forest Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports today. Our intermission report brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine. They are the men of steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. Folks, we're getting ready for what should be a great season, and stay with us for our intermission reports throughout the course of the year. High Plains Water, your source for awesome water. And as we mentioned, get the taste out, or rather get the chemicals out of your water and get the taste in your water. You just cannot overestimate how much having great tasting tap water is going to allow you to drink more, and a system from High Plains Water can do that for you. No more scaly buildup around your fixtures, and you're going to have appliances that last longer as well. High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. And Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the men of steel, ready to fix what broke down for you throughout the course of this season. If you have some repairs that need to be made, broken or twisted shafts, if you have holes that need tightening, they've got you covered at Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the men of steel. Stop and see the folks at Grand Forks Welding and Machine and find out more about what they can do for you. And they bring you our intermission report today. Well, looking ahead, coming up next week, we've got our first basketball of the season. It'll be East Grand Forks taking on Crookston coming up on December 2nd. That'll be on Tuesday. And the Night Riders are over here to take on East Grand Forks coming up on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, we'll have our next dose of Grand Forks Central hockey, and that's going to be a big one inside the league. Fargo Davies comes to town coming up on Thursday next week. And speaking of big ones, Red River will be at home across town to take on West Fargo Cheyenne. That game will have plenty of meaningfulness if Cheyenne's going to be a good team and Davies is top half of the league right now. That's going to be a couple of big nights.
Yeah, I mean, just as you kind of go through that schedule already, you're just like, okay, those are all teams that are going to be probably jockeying for position at some point, you'd have to think.
Well, I would think so, absolutely, especially, you know, Davies being picked top half of the conference. That's obviously important, right? And then you go from there over to the other side where you think West Fargo Cheyenne could take a step and be a contender. They already have, what did they beat Roseau? You said 4-3?
They beat Roseau. I think that's their first game they've played. Yeah, first game they played. So, I mean, a good start, 4-3, beat Roseau. But, I mean, we did Davies. We were really impressed with what Davies did last year, especially in the second half of the year. They were just kind of a pesky team that was really tough to beat.
Earned a whole game in the Eastern Dakota Conference tournament, so that was big. You know, here's the next thing. I don't know if you guys heard the news, but I read this in the Fargo Forum here. I believe it was this past week or the week before. Speaking of facilities down in West Fargo, the West Fargo Hockey Association wants to buy the old vet. Just buy it straight out from the Park District. You know, they tried to get that referendum passed to refurbish it because they're going to eventually have 3 hockey teams down there when Horace jumps in.
Yep.
They don't have enough ice for 3 by putting them all at the West Fargo Sports Center. So the idea has been that the Packers would move back to the old vet. The referendum failed, so now the Hockey Association wants to straight up buy the building so they can do with it what they want to. How about that?
I didn't hear that at all, but that's interesting. But yeah, I mean, when you add Horace to the conference, you can't have 3 teams in that building. There's not enough permanent locker room space, or their scheduling will be a nightmare.
Absolutely. Yep. So we'll see how that plays out. 1-1 as we start the third period here in East Grand Forks. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz with you. Joey Springer has our videography work here today. And Central ties the game in the second after the lone goal of the first went to East Grand Forks. And now we start period number 3. Chupka in the left corner for East Grand Forks, leaving one back for Lovejoy. Lovejoy will sweep one off to Clausen on the near side wall. Clausen looking to chase it. Chupka got to it as well. Now DeZiel swipes it off Chupka's stick. Tried to turn it back to the point. This one flutters in the air, and Burke going to make a catch, kind of like a shortstop, and then just holds on to it. And 36 seconds in, we'll see a draw. Our coverage of the third period brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. In Devils Lake and Grand Forks, they've been serving the area since 1974. The PS stands for perfect service.
By the way, just walking around the rink just now, a lot of former players I saw. Got Grant Gardner and Luke Beadall standing over here. I saw Ryder Burris and a couple of ex-Central guys over there. Some UND guys walking around, or former UND guys. Everyone's here.
Walkenfuss steps around a defender, comes up into the zone, and Noah Schindele will deflect one away on a high slot wrister from Gavin Walkenfuss. Not lost in this, Ryan, is that after all the talk about the speed and the playmakers that these two teams have, it's 1-1 after 2 periods of play. This has been a little different hockey game than maybe we expected.
Well, we saw Schindler great yesterday. He's been solid again today. Ryland Burke has made some really big saves, so goaltending is playing into that too.
Puck loose in the near side circle off the draw. Walkenfuss digging for it. Good effort by Walkenfuss digging that puck loose. Sent back out to the far wall. And this will float back through. Are they talking about, they're talking about the raffle ticket. I thought somebody was getting their license plate called in. Here's a shot from the high slot. Grant Kovar got a shot away. Cy Chelman ends up locking up with Logan Bina. I got to tell you, folks, I'm looking forward to watching Logan Bina throughout the course of the year. He is going to be in the back pocket of just about every player he plays against. He seems to play the game with reckless abandon.
He
right
does,
now.
and I'll tell you what, this is not true of everybody, but the more angry he gets, the better he seems to play. Like, it kind of elevates him when he gets mad.
Beast with a wrister through traffic again, and right there was Ryland Burke to make the glove save, and he'll hold for the whistle right off the draw. This is, I mean, teams are going to be stung by this all year. East Grand Forks just kills off the draw, and Beast is ready for it from the moment it comes to him. They draw again, big battle. Oh, and it's a score off the draw. Wyatt Quartz digging for one off the draw. Quartz just hanging in there and battling right out of the center of the circle, and he scores to make it 2-1 East Grand Forks.
I mean, you called it there. It wasn't the one-timer from Beast, but it was a face-off play, right? I got to admit, I don't even know where that went in. I didn't see the shot.
It's top shelf. It's going to be a top shelf goal. The American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. Just a huge battle for the draw. And it's Quartz stepping right past the Knights off that draw and coming up with what he needed to try to put that one in. He goes top shelf with it and scores. And East Grand Forks takes a 2-1 lead over Grand Forks Central early third period of play.
Yeah, I didn't see Quartz took his own draw. He won it forward, stepped into it.
He just kept
shot
digging
from there.
It'll be an unassisted goal. Quartz all alone at 1:18 of the third period. And now Braden Overgaard coming up the ice. He drives one up into the crowd. And we'll see a draw coming up in the Grand Forks Central zone. Our face-off's brought to you by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround family-owned and operated promotional shop, and Big Jim's Tire, the #1 supplier of ag tires in the region. Unbelievable goal for Quartz. Just an unbelievable effort. Kept digging right at it, right? Just a battle for the draw.
Right, it wasn't a clean face-off. When it just dropped, battle, he stepped around the center, and I think from a knee, and just sniped far side.
No way to see that coming. No anticipation from it at all, right? There's
No.
just nothing to see there. So East Grand Forks has a 2-1 lead, trying to grab 6 points in the Gambuchi Cup Series in this weekend. And right now they have the 2-1 edge in doing so. A turnover, high slot, Beast with a wrister deflected. That could have been dangerous. Kirkaby comes up with a takeaway off the wall. Got it back out of the neutral zone. And boy, we were worried about East Grand Forks having dead legs. Right now they're taking it to Grand Forks Central in the opening couple of minutes of this third period.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, this first couple minutes has been all East Grand Forks. They're buzzing right now.
A turn by Chupka hits the side of the net. Puck comes back to Lovejoy, left point. He got that through traffic. And Burke able to find it, steers it back over into the far corner. And now it's picked off the near side wall for Central by Carson Cutterba. Cutterba back to the neutral zone. Beast was able to cut it off. Nielsen far side off the wall. Played back up by Panzer. Burke will come out to stop that up. Cutterba look, a step back towards the far side. Able to find Kwame. Kwame comes back towards the near edge. Kirkaby coming up the ice will dump one in. And Kirkaby will go off at the end of his shift. Kwame comes back up behind the East Grand Forks net. Circles back, left circle, trying to drag the puck back to the line. Turns it back down to DeZiel. This works back out on top. And a wrister coming off left point by Bodie Burris is deflected. Burris gets it back, turns it back to the corner. Kwame back to Burris, struggling to hold on, but does. Found his way back to the right for Kwame. Now Nielsen right point into traffic. Rivard got a touch on that. DeZiel holds on, turns, puts it out in front of the net. Schindele got a piece of this, and this will float back out to the neutral zone.
Boy, again, we talked about it already, but some quick passing from this DeZiel line. Just everything is quick.
Rivard off the wall, and here comes Braden Overgaard in by himself. Overgaard loses control of the puck, couldn't get a shot away. It nearly floated in anyway, and Burke is able to turn it aside with just the lightest of touches off his left boot. Back to Overgaard on the line, and a battle for control near side sent down the ice by Bodie Burris.
Boy, would that have been something if that would have trickled in?
No doubt. Pass up top, Walkenfuss struggling to hold on. Ryan Clausen pulls it away for East Grand Forks. He looks to the center for Courts, couldn't find it. Loose puck picked up by Beast. It comes off the near side wall. A step in by Linden, he'll take a hit. Loose puck to Bina, who takes a shot from Courts from behind. Let's go back over towards the left for East Grand Forks, the right for Grand Forks Central along the wall. Battle for control there. Looking to step in was Nolan Marteau. He comes away, steers back from traffic, left it out, and Beast with a one-timer punched aside. That time with a stick hand by Burke, just kind of punching at it and sending it back into the corner. Puck back off the end wall. Wyatt Blake turning it back near side. He's able to find Logan Bina. Sends that one through everything, and we'll have an icing call. With 12:33 left of the third, East Grand Forks leading by a score of 2-1.
Boy, all of a sudden, Rylan Burke might be the goalie in focus here because he's had to make some big saves in the first 5 minutes of this third period.
There's been a lot of pressure. And just a very impressive situation considering that Central didn't play since, last Tuesday? And East Grand Forks played last night. Loose puck, Lovejoy, high slot with a wrist shot. Ends up being banged off the helmet that time of Carson Cutterba. Puck goes into the corner. It works back out high for Brady Kirkaby. Kirkaby finding Clausen. He'll fight through traffic. Clausen in the corner, turns it back out in front, trailing the play and looking for a chance. Jacob Spicer, and it rings off his stick. Lovejoy back the other direction for East Grand Forks. He'll come to a stop along the right wall, turns it back high slot, no one home. Sneaks past Kovar, it'll get back to the neutral zone. And here comes Spicer coming up the ice for Grand Forks Central, trying to put on some pressure. Schmiederberg to empty space out in the neutral zone. Knight's back to get it. Bodie Burris turns back behind his net, drops one off for Nielsen. Excellent breakout here for Central. Nielsen coming back up the ice, fighting off Mellowbrook for control. He comes back near side for Clausen. A stop down to the doorstep, a chipper that time from Henning Gibbs coming out of the start of a shift for the fourth line, and Gibbs ends up putting it over the bar. And now here comes Mellowbrook, 3-on-2 for East Grand Forks, but a turnover as Bina holds his ground and pokes that one off the stick of Mellowbrook. And now Bina will turn it back up into the East Grand Forks end. Back behind the net, Gibbs off to the right. Down for a one-timer, Presting sent it wide. Mellowbrook will pick up the puck off the left wall. He comes up into the neutral zone and dumps deep into the central end. 11 minutes, 10 seconds to play. Third period, 2-1, East Grand Forks on the all-true scoreboard. Trying to fight through some traffic off the near edge was Mason Bensley for Central. And now a big hit from behind. Beast just threw in a hard shot on Gibbs from behind. Took Gibbs out of the play. Courts trying to come back up into the neutral zone with Chupka. Courts trying to pull it away. Was able to fight it past Wyatt Blake back into the central end. A turn back behind the net by Bina. He'll come back towards the near side. Looking for help from Bensley. This one deflected back in. Burke handling back to Bina. He'll get behind the net with 10.5 minutes to go. Bina stepping out towards the left, comes back towards the near side. A trail up the ice by Kwame. Kwame putting the brakes on, going down low, trying to find DeZiel crashing the right side. He turned it back to the wall, and Clausen steps in. DeZiel stays with it, working back towards Rivard on the goal line. Rivard's there behind the net. Kwame looking, trying to find DeZiel up front. That was deflected. Kwame will drag it back to the right wing on the half wall. Looks down low again for DeZiel, can't find him. Puck high point to Panzer. We'll see a whistle. Not sure what happened here.
Net's off, or in the crease, one of the two. Looks like the net's off.
Well, the net's off. They pointed towards the central zone, however.
Yeah, I wonder if a central player on a flyby bumped it off, possibly.
Okay. So instead of a draw in the East Grand Forks zone, we'll draw the neutral zone. It was a Central Knight that knocked it off the pegs. DeZiel will take the draw against Panzer. Panzer wins it. Schmiederberg off to the left side, finding Clausen. Clausen will go through the neutral zone, floats one up. Burke stopping it and going to put the cover on. 9:54 left of the third period, 2-1, Green Wave.
And Central still had 18 shots, which means they've had, what, 2 in this period?
Yeah.
I mean, give all the credit to East Grand Forks. I mean, they've just fought their way defensively to keep Central at bay here. But if you're Grand Forks Central at this 10-minute mark, I mean, you got to think everything has got to start going to the net. I mean, you have to do, hopefully get a bounce, a break, a hop, anything. But 2 shots is not going to win you this hockey game.
No, not in the third period it won't. Not against this very inspired East Grand Forks team that's just emptying the tank right now. Mellowbrook, right corner, sends one back through the blue paint, comes off the far wall. Kwame skated past it, turns it back up against the boards and fought through a defender. Steps up into the neutral zone, found a great pass to Rivard. Now DeZiel in the corner. DeZiel turns it back near point. That one scooted right past Bodie Burris, goes loose. Chelman coming up the ice, short-sided chance. Burke had come out to try to transition, then sags back between the pipes, and Rivard picks up a stretch pass and finds DeZiel. Back to Rivard, and his slap shot goes wide. Nielsen picks it up, tries to drop it back in, but Beast will pick it off for East Grand Forks, and he leads his way through the neutral zone. Mellowbrook a wrister. Good save by Burke, sending it back over to the far wall. DeZiel twists it back into the neutral zone, and Overgaard is there for East Grand Forks. 9 minutes to play third period. 2-1, East Grand Forks by a goal. Puck comes back into the neutral zone. Kovar trying to play it through. Loose puck to Courts, who will pull it off at a short-sided opportunity. Burke dives out to try to cover up a rebound, and will draw coming up in the central zone with 8:50 left to go in the third.
Boy, East Grand Forks, just offensively speaking, it's been kind of the second and third line guys, right? It's been Gelman, it's been Courts,
It has.
Some of these other guys who are standing out in this game.
Vegan Construction look in, game look in. Wyatt Courts at 1:18 of the third period. The difference right now in a 2-1 lead for East Grand Forks. Lone goal in the second period for Grand Forks Central. That's what they have offensively right now, and that's the game look in, brought to you by Vegan Construction. Designers, builders, engineers. Nearly a century of great work. Here's a loose puck out in front. Bina will score! Top shelf for Logan Bina. Logan Bina, the young defender, stepping in, hits the bar, brings it in on a rebound that sprung to him on the near side circle, and Grand Forks Central ties the game at 2 halfway through the third.
That's a great job by that forward group to get the puck to the net, but when we watch this replay, you can watch Logan reading his play. He steps in a couple of times just waiting for this to pop out. Ready?
There he is in the foreground of your screen.
Right there,
There's
and
the
now
puck
he
coming
knows.
loose.
Boom.
He drives in, puts it up and scores. That is gritty area kind of stuff that you love to see early in the season, and Logan Bina has a goal to tie the game at 2. So Bina will score at 8:28 of the period, and that will make it a 2-2 tie as we get the official scoring on it. Logan Bina picks it up. There will be an assist for Ryland Spicer and Gavin Walkenfuss. So it'll be Bina from Spicer and Walkenfuss at 8:28. We are tied at 2 on the all-true scoreboard in the middle of the third period. Jake Chupka turns it back into Max Beast for East Grand Forks. Beast has one mishandled. Loose puck comes back near side for Jace Panzer, and the Green Wave will now form up. Central has never led this afternoon. Puck comes into the neutral zone. Lovejoy, high pitch, trying to find Chupka on the break. Given some space, Kaysen Panzer chases him down along the wall. Kwame picks it up on the left side. Stretches out looking for Rivard. He tries to poke one away from Mellowbrook. It goes loose, and Beast is back up the ice with it. Beast gets turned away. Loose puck again to Kaysen Panzer. He looks up trying to find Rivard on a long pass. This will be icing. Mellowbrook and Rivard hook up. And with 7:28 left of the third, we'll send you back into the central zone for a draw. Brought to you by Apex Apparel and Big Jim's Tire.
Got Mellowbrook and Rivard are still talking. 130 feet later.
There's
not
been
the first time that's happened tonight, FYI.
You know, it's interesting that normally in the history of this Gambuchi Cup series, it's East Grand Forks and Red River that have had sort of their differences with one another,
That's
right?
true.
Today, not so much. Puck comes back along the line in the East Grand Forks end after a draw that just kind of got out of control and spread back into the East Grand Forks zone. So work back into the neutral zone, loose along the line. Nielsen had it, then lost it. Cy Chelman, who scored the first goal today for East Grand Forks, comes up the ice with a snapshot that just rifled its way off the glass and bounced back in front of Ryland Burke. Folks, if anybody knows where Cy Chelman came from, please let us know. I don't think he played a minute of varsity hockey last year that we're aware of. He just knocked the glass loose behind the central net.
Well, he took a shot, Ryan, from the left side, going to the right, and it somehow bounced back in the opposite direction that it should have been. Trickled out front. Dangerous play. Ryland Burke heads up, covered it, but that was a weird hop.
We're under 7 minutes to play in the third period. Far side of the ice, this is picked up by Wyatt Blake for Grand Forks Central. Dumped up into the neutral zone. Marto loses his twig, ends up getting knocked down. This will work back towards the near side. Bina stepping up, just scored the goal for Central. High, DeZiel got one through it, wrists wide. Actually, rather not DeZiel, that was Marto, my apologies. Goes loose in the corner, Ryland Spicer battling for it. Marto a chance at a one-timer, but Schmiederberg held his ground, deflected the shot. Braden Overgaard comes up the ice for East Grand Forks, stops right point, tries to dribble one high. Walkenfuss was back to cut that off for Central. He'll turn it back to the far side. Beast stepping in against Ryland Spicer. Knocked it free. It's loose behind the net. Logan Bina taking a look for Central. Dumps it back into the neutral zone. A touch from Marto. That'll wave off the icing call. And Central will change up. Long stretch pass picked off. Loose puck to Kaysen Panzer. Panzer tried to play a back high slot looking for Brady Kirkaby. This will bound loose back to the line. One there by Jacob Spicer. He turned it back in far side, and it comes out with Tucker Lovejoy for East Grand Forks. Lovejoy will be turned over as Spicer came over, put a stick in, then the loose puck to Chupka. He got a wrister through. Burke made that stop. Spicer tries to transition back up the ice again with Kirkaby. Lovejoy took Spicer's and Kirkaby stick out of play. Here's Trey Clausen weaving through defenders. He drives in low on Schindele, looks to wrap around, put it out in front with an empty net, and it's deflected wide by Carson Cutterba. Loose high slot again. Nielsen a chance, and Schindele knocks it away, and now Schindele's playing without a paddle. He reaches out desperately trying to cover, and does with 5:19 left to go in the third period.
Just another Trey Clausen doing Trey Clausen things, just creating an opportunity. He just steps around people, Ryan. When he gets around you, you just can't do anything.
Right. And a hit won't knock him down. A hit won't take him off the puck. It won't do anything, right?
No, he can't move him off the puck. And I mean, in that one, he threw a pass up front, and God, I think he might have had net to just stuff that home, but either way.
3-on-2 for East Grand Forks off the draw. Chelman with another wrist shot. He won't be happy till he breaks glass today. Easton Olsen comes up with a loose puck along the far side wall, and now Nielsen pulls it away for Central. He'll pitch up front looking for Rivard. Rivard ties up with Ryan Clausen in the corner of East Grand Forks. Rivard drags it up the wall, leaves one off for Kwame. Charging goal line extended, put it out for DeZiel. He waved at it, couldn't find the puck. Kwame got it back, sends it back to Nielsen, right point. Nielsen's shot deflected, goes wide of Schindele to Schindele's stick side. Out of the corner, Kwame looking back to Rivard, high slot. Loose puck swept loose by Chelman out into the neutral zone. Mellowbrook tries to follow it. Now it's Chelman again. Chelman dishes off towards the left. Looking on that left side for Sean Lind. He takes a bit of a bump on the left side. Jay Kwame getting back on the back check. And Rivard will come back up the ice for Central. We're down to 4:20 to play in the third period. It's still 2-2 on the all-true scoreboard. East Grand Forks and Grand Forks Central. Puck loose left side for Bodie Schmaltz along the wall. He'll turn it back into the neutral zone. A backup by Wyatt Blake. He dumps it back into the East Grand Forks end. Schmiederberg over to pick it up. Back to Bodie Schmaltz. Transition play to Lind on the left wall. He looks for Overgaard racing up into the offensive end. Bina's over to cut off Overgaard. Huge hit by Logan Bina taking Overgaard out. Now Overgaard and Bina getting into it along the ice. And Bina goes right back at Overgaard, and those two aren't done yet. Meanwhile, the puck goes loose on the near boards. It's taken out by Marto, who just gets lit up by Lind along the line. But Marto gets the puck back along the Grand Forks Central line. He'll pull it free through the neutral zone, widens out to the high slot, dances through a pair of defenders off to the right half wall, and dumps it back into the corner for Walkenfuss. He plays one out to the right. Ryland Spicer sends it wide. Loose puck coming back to Chupka for East Grand Forks. 3:20 left to go in the third period, still tied at 2. Put back down behind the the Grand Forks Central net. Walkenfuss will dump it off the boards. A turn back up the ice by Kaysen Panzer. Panzer will dump it. He took a shot into the wall from Schmiederberg and was shaken up on that one. Lovejoy will dish it back to Ryan Clausen for the Greenway. Clausen trying to step his way into the neutral zone. Widens out to the right, backhand play down the wall. This is shades of the second period again now. Nothing organized, everything transitionally. Both teams struggling to set up anything at all. With the clock down to 2:45 left, it's like when it gets late in the period, the game just unravels, Ryan.
Yeah, and that's what's happening. This is just some street ball right now. And
here comes Chelman again. Chelman right circle, shot coming in on Burke. He'll make the stop. Did you just say street ball?
Watch what it is. It's just, it's outdoor ice hockey now. It's just guys playing like
pond hockey.
Pond hockey, yeah. Maybe that's a better word. But street ball was funnier, but
it was. They'll draw it to the left of Ryland Burke. in the Grand Forks Central end, and Nolan Mellowbrook will be thrown off the dot. Cy Chelman will step in to take the draw, and a chance by, I believe it was Smith, to step in and try to take that up. Easton Olsen rather had a chance. Now Chelman gets put against the wall. There's a battle for it back behind the net. Chelman still playing against Clausen for control of the puck. Goes loose into the corner. Brady Kirkeby trying to turn it out for Central. Loose again behind the net. Mellowbrook trying to chase it down. Nielsen is there. Now Chelman comes over, but he has his stick picked on the left side by Bodie Burris. It goes back out in front. Chupka down to a knee for a one-timer. Actually, it was Olsen. He played one through and then tried to get his own rebound and take a whack at it. That one dribbled off wide towards the left. And the puck back out in the neutral zone. Mellowbrook tripped from behind, calls up, and Grand Forks Central going to have to kill a penalty with 1:53 to go. East Grand Forks with that lethal power play is going back on it as Central will be called for tripping. I believe it's Wyatt Blake that will take the call.
I think it's Trey Clausen. He was just going for a...
Is it Clausen?
Yeah.
17 instead of 7? It is.
Yep. He was just going for a puck, and he missed puck and got skates. And this will take us down to
the end of regulation.
End of regulation. 5-on-4.
Yep. Time of the penalty at 15:07 of the third period. So East Grand Forks can run the clock of regulation out on the power play. The 7 seconds of it would carry over to overtime if we were to venture that far today. But with their power play, they're looking to end it here. It's Beast on the right point. Off the draw for East Grand Forks. Lovejoy, top of the left circle. He scores! Tucker Lovejoy on the power play from the top of the left circle comes up with a goal. And Grand Forks Central will trail as East Grand Forks takes a 3-2 lead.
There it is, just a clean face-off win. They set up possession early, make a couple of passes and a shot from the point. Shocker, a defenseman on the power play, ripping one from the blue line.
Here's the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay, and it's Beast setting up the play. Lovejoy, just a wrister, found traffic on the way through. I think Grand Forks
was it
Central,
Lovejoy that shot it?
Yeah, it was Lovejoy that got the shot.
Beast passed it to him. Yeah, okay.
I think it was Grand Forks Central's bench a little frustrated. I think they thought Burke was interfered with as well. They don't get that call. And on the 30th shot of the game for East Grand Forks, they take a 3-2 lead. And it's a power play goal. Puck will be touched up with a high stick here. Let's get the scoring on the goal. Should be Max Beast that's going to pick up an assist on Lovejoy's goal. And they will be for Beast as well as Jace Panzer. So Lovejoy from Panzer and Beast on the power play. 15-18 of the third period. And Grand Forks Central trails 3-2 in Game 2 of the Gambuchi Cup Series to East Grand Forks. The Green Wave trying to make it a clean sweep of the weekend and take 6 points of the Gambuchi Cup standings. Central forces a turnover back in the East Grand Forks end. And here comes Max Beast up the ice looking to end it. His shot goes wide of the net. Clock to 1:20 left to go here in the third period. A turn, Rivard plays it back up the ice. Kwame stepping up in the offensive end. He gets wrapped up. This goes back to Blake.
Works out.
Back out in front. We see a broken stick. We've got the net empty on the Grand Forks Central side. Bina plays one in, but low. This will work back out to the point. Blake had it there. Holds it up against the wall. Loose puck picked up by Kwame. DeZiel, a one-timer blasted just wide. Lovejoy picks it up and sends it back into the neutral zone. The net is empty on the Grand Forks Central side with 50 seconds to go. Quick transition pass. Spicer coming in. His backhander goes wide to the net. Kurtz picks it up on the far edge. Long way to go up the ice. Missed the net. Offensive zone draw for Central with 40.2 seconds left to go here in the third period.
Yeah, you'll have to assume Central's going to call their timeout here. Yep, standing at the bench waiting, so here we go.
Timeout will be taken by Grand Forks Central. With a 3-2 lead for East Grand Forks, you've got the net empty, extra attacker on the ice. What a game here to wrap up the weekend of Gambuchi Cup hockey.
This has been wild. So let's go back to that goal. I saw Central's bench yelling. You think it was potential goaltender interference? I didn't see what they were mad about.
Well, go ahead. Take a look at the replay again. You'll see a Green Wave perhaps make contact with Rylan Burke here on that last goal. And you watch right there, you'll see somebody step right in front there on that little bump.
I'm not sure I'm seeing it.
I'm not sure I saw it either, but there was a complaint about it in that situation anyway. And there was a frustrated Grant Piranica Coach Moreland, Coach Paranika, both sort of directing their frustration at official. I think they felt like that body got back into Ryland Burke, but in the end, really, really tough to make that call at that point.
Really tough. And again, based on that replay, I'm not sure I'm seeing it, but.
Well, 40.2 seconds left to go.
I'm also like they overcall goaltender interference guy. So you're asking the wrong person if you're asking me.
You know, it's always the offensive guys that think they overcall
well, you got
goaltender interference.
Eric Martinson is the ref on the ice. He's a former goalie. So, I mean, if anyone's going to call, it's going to be him.
Extra attacker on the ice for Grand Forks Central. 40.2 seconds left. Offensive zone drop for the Knights. They trail 3-2. Potential clearing play near side. Bina trying to hold the puck. He could not. This will float back to the neutral zone. And Central have to come up ice from distance with 30 seconds left to go. Pass near side for Kwame, trying to pull out around a defender. Walkenfuss looking up the ice. Bladed back down by East Grand Forks. Icing. Another offensive zone draw with 21.9 seconds left in regulation. Central trailing 3-2 on the all-true scoreboard.
Hey, a really good job there by East Grand Forks as Central came up the ice. I mean, they're up a man. It's 6-on-5, but every time Central moved the puck, there was another East Grand Forks player there to break up the zone entry.
We'll draw again to the right of the Green Wave goaltender, Noah Schindele, who has played extremely well again today. Both goaltenders have had their moments today. Puck loose along the far wall with 15 seconds left. Walkenfuss out to the point. Taking a look at Spicer. Back to Walkenfuss. He's in the circle. Turns one backhanded style wide of the net. Back off towards the far side. Puck stays in the offensive end. Kwame looking to get around. 2 seconds. Little jab right at the horn that comes up empty. And East Grand Forks grabs the win. East Grand Forks will come up with a 3-2 win today over Grand Forks Central. And the Green Wave have come out in defense of their Gambuchi Cup championship with 6 big points on the weekend, and they send Central to 1-1. East Grand Forks improves to 2-1.
Yeah, really impressive game, and just for good measure, another big save at the buzzer
by Schindele.
For Schindele, just to cap the weekend with an incredible 6-period performance from that kid.
Absolutely. Final score this afternoon will be East Grand Forks 3, Grand Forks Central 2. Your post-game report is on the way next. We'll come back with our scoring summary. We'll come back with our highlights of the game, so stay with us for that. All on the post-game report up next, brought to you by Spring Advantage and also by the Ski and Bike Shop. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales, Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop proudly supports our local high school athletes on the field, the court, and beyond. Just like sports, adventure starts with the right gear. The Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins.
This is the KNOX Postgame Show. Brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop and Spray Advantage.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports today. We come to you from East Grand Forks Civic Center Arena, where we've seen a good one today between a couple of heavyweights, East Grand Forks and Grand Forks Central, doing battle here today in the Gambuchi Cup Series. Game number 2 of the series, and East Grand Forks an impressive 6-point victory in the chase for the Gambuchi Cup as they win this one today by a final score of 3-2. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz, I'm sorry with you. I was typing in Kurtz on the scoring summary, my apologies. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz with you here today. Joey Springer with our videography work that we had for you here this afternoon. Post-game report is brought to you today by our friends at the Ski and Bike Shop and also by Spray Advantage. And boy, this one, if they're going to play like this throughout the year, these are going to be dandy games in the Gambuchi Cup Series. But all the credit in the world to East Grand Forks for winning 2 really tough games and putting themselves on a great path. They're now 2-1 on the season.
Yeah, I think we were impressed with a lot of things they did yesterday. I think, at least I am more impressed with what they did today, just given the fact they're playing a much different team, second game in 2 days. You'd think they'd have, be gassed a little bit, maybe out of steam by the third period. That wasn't the case at all. They had to completely flip their game plan for, you got to play a different animal in Central, and they just did everything really well today.
Well, and then in a game that deteriorated twice.
True.
Into just absolutely down and dirty transition hockey, it ends on something we talked about at the beginning of the game. Power play hockey for East Grand Forks. Their power play for these last couple of games has been devastatingly lethal, and that's how they scored the game winner today.
Game winner was on a power play. The second goal was off a draw, which is exactly what we talked about yesterday. How they beat Red River was on those 2 things, and both came into play again today.
Our post-game report is brought to you by Spray Advantage. Everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. The difference between Spray Advantage and their competitors is that Spray Advantage has what you're looking for in stock: tips, tanks, nozzles, pumps, grain carts, seed tenders. They do it with 2 locations to serve you in Grand Forks and St. Thomas. Spray Advantage, make them a part of your agricultural game plan now and for years to come. And also our post-game report brought to you today by the Ski and Bike Shop. They want to keep you moving all season long at the Ski and Bike Shop. Get ready for next year with one of their Trek bikes, which are just beautiful. They can fit you out for boots, for a snowboard, or for the skis that you're looking for, obviously in the namesake Ski and Bike Shop. The Ski and Bike Shop bringing you our post-game report here today as well. Well, let's take a look at some of the plays that made this one happy today. Again, our first period goal from Cy Chelman. Didn't have the opportunity to snap that for you for a replay today, but we had that for goal number 1 today at 7:48 of the period. We go into the second period with a 1-0 lead for East Grand Forks, and the game is tied up. Beautiful stretch pass here by Rylandberg. Puck picked up by DeZiel. He touch passes to Kwame. Rivard carries it to the net for a pretty goal. That made it a 1-1 tie at that point. And then later on in that same period, Grand Forks Central getting loose on a breakaway, and Noah Schindley, who had a great run, this time turns away Spicer on a chance that was in deep on him, and Schindley had to do that a couple of times today to hold on for the victory. Here we see Wyatt Kurtz coming up with the goal that would give East Grand Forks the lead back at 2-1. Just gritty off the face-off, winning another draw, sending that one top shelf. But Logan Bina with a gritty area goal as well for Grand Forks Central. Loose puck, there's the young defenseman slashing in. He puts that one off the bottom of the crossbar to make it 2-2, but it ends on the power play. It's Bees off to Lovejoy, the wrister clean through. Tucker Lovejoy scores, and that makes it a final score of 3-2 in favor of East Grand Forks this afternoon. And that power play, boy, that's just going to be stunning all season long for East Grand Forks. They continue to execute like that, they're going to have good times today.
Yeah, the thing about that power play is, number one, they do a really, really good job of possessing the puck. They do a really good job of getting you out of position on the kill. And then last but not least, they have a lot of guys who can snipe.
Yes, they do.
Some big shots. They put them all back. They have them come downhill on you, and they're shooting as they're moving in. You're right. That's a scary power play.
Let's take a look at the scoring summary from that third period with Who Lit the Lamp, and it's brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. Bergstrom Electric makes the lamp shine brighter, and I'll tell you what, before we get there, just give us a moment, and we'll get that updated for you. We had a bit of a technical issue there that we're looking at, so let's go ahead and get that updated for you here as we begin our wrap-up of high school hockey today. We've got some big games coming up as well, so stay with us. We're going to talk more about our schedule coming up here in a couple of moments because we've got some big ones that are coming up right out of the chute coming up here when it comes down to what we're going to have coming up next week as far as, some of the things that are out there that are going to be really impactful when it comes down to the games. You know, we mentioned this, Ryan, that up next for Grand Forks Central is going to be Fargo Davies. So it's not like there's a step back in this situation for them at all, right? Fargo Davies is going to be a really tough out for Grand Forks Central.
Yeah, I think the way we talked about earlier in the broadcast, Davies, I mean, they had a great goaltending last year. I believe Metcalf is back again this year. Is he still their goalie?
I believe so, yeah.
He had a really good second half of the year, and they were just a scrappy, tough team for a lot of teams to get past.
So we'll see what that looks like coming up here when we get to next week with the matchup there. And then, of course, Grand Forks Red River getting set to go up against what's going to be a tough matchup with West Fargo Cheyenne. So we've got a couple of good ones coming up here over the next couple of days. We're not going to take a step back with it at all. Okay, now let's take a look at our scoring summary brought to you by Bergstrom Electric with Who Lit the Lamp. It's brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter in that third period. It's why Kurt's unassisted at 1:18, the play that you saw. And then later it would be Logan Bina from Spicer and Walkenfuss. That came at 8:28, so halfway through the third period, we're tied. And then Tucker Lovejoy with that power play goal from Jace Panzer and Max Beast. That comes at 15:18 of the third period. And that is the game-winning goal today for East Grand Forks. Tucker Lovejoy scores the game winner. And that's our scoring summary. And it's brought to you today by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. Well, let's transition. Let's do some player awards that we have for you today as our post-game report continues. It's brought to you today by Spray Advantage. Everything you're looking for spraying an application on your farm. And brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop, where they're ready for you for all seasons at the Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks. Let's start with our 3 stars of the game today. 3 stars of the game brought to you today by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks and Devils Lake, where the PS stands for Peaceful Season. We're entering that now. The next time we call a hockey game, it will be December. And so a big happy holidays going out for PS Garage Doors. And remember, when it's time for a new garage door, perfect service and painless shopping at PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR. Boy, there's so many different ways that we can go with this today. I as far as the 3 stars of the game, I kind of feel like Cy Chelman needs to be in there somewhere for East Grand Forks, so he's got to be around someplace. Logan Bina with a fantastic play for Grand Forks Central today. We saw a really good play out of that first line. Ryder Rivard had a goal today. He looked good. I don't know how we organize them, Ryan. Do you have any idea?
Oh, boy. You're right. Because here's what I'm going to say about this East Grand Forks team and that win. Like, that was about as complete a team win as you can find.
Sure.
So Gelman stood out. Cordes obviously had a great game with the goal. Outside of that, I feel like everyone was just really good. Right? I mean, no one else like jumped off. Baxby's probably. But I just feel like everybody, Tyler Palmasino, everyone elevated today.
That's what he asked for, yeah.
I would go Cy Gelman 1.
Okay. He made a lot of plays today. It seemed like even when he wasn't scoring, when he's got the puck right now, he's a dominant factor on the ice at this point. He really is, and that's early.
And every time he shoots the puck, you feel like it's
got a chance
this
to
might
score.
go in.
Yeah. Wow. So he's the 1 star. We got 2 and 3.
Yeah. I would go Ryder Rivard 2.
Okay.
Because I just thought he had a really good game on top of the goal.
Sure.
And then I would go Cordes for getting that goal. I thought he had a good game outside of that goal also.
You know, he did. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And those are 2 guys, I think, on the second line for East Grand Forks. He's a third line center, yep. But I'll tell you what, winning that draw and sending that puck towards the net, that's not a typical hockey play. That's just effort play right there.
Just an effort play. But outside of that, I mean, he had some hits. He just seemed like a guy who you just kind of noticed, and so I would put him up there for sure.
I like it. So our 3 stars of the game today, brought to you by PS Garage Doors, will be number 3 Wyatt Kurtz for East Grand Forks, Number 2, Ryder Rivard for Grand Forks Central. Number 1, Cy Chelman for East Grand Forks. Just a great game today. And again, the 3 stars of the game brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Now our finest cover of the game, brought to you by Finest Auto Trim. Big or small, they cover it all. Finest Auto Trim specializes in recovering vehicle and boat seats. If your boat seats took a beating, if it's time to get them refinished before next year's boating season, get those to Finest Auto Trim. If you've got a hot rod that you're restoring, getting that ready for the next driving season, they can help you with that as well. They're projects that we've seen, very extensive. And this time of the year with the elements, if you're trying to protect things that you keep outside, like air conditioning units or campers, boats, power generators, something that you picked up new this year, like a new pontoon that you're looking to cover, they can form-fit custom covers for those types of implements that you're going to keep outside at Finest Auto Trim. Big or small, they cover it all. Finest cover of the game 2 nights in a row. I mean, Noah Schindele was just really, really good today. Now, I'll tell you what, the goaltender today for Grand Forks Central getting to start, Rylan Burke. He was pretty good today as well, stopped 27 shots. Max Beast played well defensively. Logan Bina played well defensively for Central. We got a lot of candidates here too, Ryan.
Right, I was just going through everything in my head. Those were the same 4 names that I came up with. So I feel like we need to go East Grand Forks here since they won the game.
Sure.
So we gave it to Schindele yesterday, so he'll get honorable mention along with Logan Bina and Rylan Burke. But Max Beast, he was the best defenseman today for East Grand Forks. That group, I mean the team, but that group of the D-Corps did just a really good job of keeping a really talented Central offense at bay for the most part. So we'll give it to Max Beast.
Max Beast will be our finest cover of the game, and our final effort today is Northland Community and Technical College bringing you our Goals Against Hunger today. Goals Against Hunger brought to you by Northland Community and Technical College. Start that liberal arts degree that you're looking for, valuable degree right in your own backyard in East Grand Forks. Northland Community and Technical College has a number of programs for you to take on. And with goals, points, baskets that are made throughout the course of the year, money is raised to help stamp out hunger in our area. We have partnered at KNOX with Northland Community and Technical College to fight hunger in the region. And today, $5 because our 2 home teams combine. 3 for East Grand Forks, 2 for Central. $5 will be donated to the Pioneer Food Pantry by Northland Community and Technical College to fight hunger in our area. And again, that award is brought to you today by Northland Community and Technical College. So that'll do it for this one. Our post-game report brought to you today by Spring Advantage and also by the Ski and Bike Shop. And just a dandy of a game, a dandy of a weekend between these 2 teams. But if there's anything that stands out, East Grand Forks, I think they've taken a step from their game with Delano. These are 2 very good teams that they just played, and they won both of those games. And boy, it seems like this team doesn't want to be the team that takes a step back. A lot of effort from this East Grand Forks team this last couple of days.
If they continue to play that way, I think this is a team that can, again, probably be there in the end. Team we're talking about.
Yeah.
Into March.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it is.
Yeah.
It's a showdown, usually with War Road, right? I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to, right? And they'll be chased around a little bit in the section, obviously. But that's, I mean, it's those 2 that are always looking across the section at one another.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's the way it goes. In the meantime, next up for us, coming up on Thursday, it's Grand Forks Central and Fargo Davies. It's Grand Forks Red River and West Fargo Cheyenne. And on Tuesday, basketball, East Grand Forks and Crookston. We'll have at it in basketball coming up on Tuesday, and we've got girls hockey. The Night Riders will be at home coming up on Tuesday as well, so we've got a busy week coming up to start the month of December. I know you've got an engagement over at UND with your young lady getting ready to skate in front of a huge crowd tonight. Tell her to have good luck from us, Rhino. Go over there and put her on, okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here. Ryan Coots joining us for color commentary and analysis. Big thank you to Joey Springer for our videography work on the video side today as well. Your final score this afternoon from Civic Center Arena, East Grand Forks 3, Grand Forks Central 2, and East Grand Forks 6 points this weekend in the Gambuchi Cup standings. With that, we'll call it a wrap for today. We'll send you back into regular programming on the radio side. We'll see you again coming up next week on the video side. This has been our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.